Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Tonight we have the ESEA Invite Grand Finals. No, it's not Grand Finals. This is the beginning of playoffs. This is the second seed Ascent.
Who knows? It could be Grand Finals.
Swift NA. No, this is not a Grand Finals preview. This is not going to be the Grand Finals. There's no third place Banny, not yet at least.
Oh, not yet.
Not for certain.
Okay.
It's there.
Okay.
What you're hearing there is Tambo in the background. That's my co-caster for tonight. I'm Ro, console on camera. This has been a very haphazard intro, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be getting underway soon, right after we do a little talk about these teams.
And I'm very interested in this match, not only because SVIFT is like one of the strongest teams in Invite in general, but because Sandblast, now on Ascent. Let's see what he can do against this kind of competition. I know he had his tryout, and he's had, I think, 1 or 2 matches so far, but this is his first taste of playoffs on a top 2 team, so I'm kind of interested to see how he can do.
And you said Showstopper, right?
I said Sandblast.
Sandblast, not Showstopper. Okay. Well, they're hand in hand right there.
Yeah, I mean,
as far as
father
being
and son,
in a contender for the playoff spots, those kind of things. But anyway, so yeah. Speaking of Sandblast, that's part of the Ascent roster. He got picked up as scout very recently, very late into the season. Snuck his way in place of, I believe it was Corsa or someone.
I believe Corsa stepped down from Ascent and fulfilling the role. They tried a couple people out. I believe Sandblast actually went something crazy like 40-8 in his tryout match. So they ended up picking him up. I don't really know who the other players they tried out was, but he was teamless before that. He ended up leaving Feint. He was leaving the Feint organization a couple months back. So he's been teamless for a while, but apparently his skills have stayed. And we see him now on potentially the second place team.
Can't start with saying potentially the second place team. No,
potentially.
We're talking about a playoffs team fighting for the top spot. We're looking for
potentially number 1. Yes, you're correct. I mean, pardon my mistake, but I believe they have had close showings with Freya the past I think 100 years. It's been almost a century at this point.
Anyway, let's just quickly go through the roster. Because in case you haven't been following, or if you're from the wonderful land of Europe, very late in the morning, over here on Ascent, we have Sandblast on Scout, joined by his partner Patty, I believe is playing Scout.
I believe Yamps
Patty's
Scout.
playing Soldier, with Showstopper on Pocket, Podonsky on Demo, and then finally Nursey the Medic.
And on SVIFT, we have pretty much the same roster they've had the entire season. We have Garbuglio on Roamer, Slemnish and High Five on the Scouts. We have Marmaduke on Pocket, Delpo on Demo Man, and we have an interesting lineup for both teams. Definitely an experienced team. Definitely both of them are experienced teams. Sandblast coming in, I think, his 3rd season of Invite. Might be the least experienced player in the server, and 3 seasons of Invite is nothing to scoff at. So we do have a lot of old names here, a lot of proven names, people who have shown they can be first, second material. So should be a great match.
Yeah, it's very comforting to know that these players who have invested so much time into TF2 are naturally in playoffs.
Still at the top, yeah. Haven't lost a step. I know Podonsky's been playing probably over 10 seasons at this point in Invite, and he's still competing every season, usually getting really far in playoffs, defeating all the up and coming teams. So it's nice to see people like him in the community who just can maintain that level of skill.
So let's talk about Swift, because technically speaking, they're the underdogs here. And when you just kind of look at the face value, you think, yeah, Ascent's got all the right stuff. Everything from ancient times, much more experience is definitely, I think, the best way to put it. But Swift is nothing to scoff at, specifically because they actually have the most seasoned Invite player, not counting Podonsky, and that's Marmaduke Grills. But they also have that Scout combo, Slemnish and High Five, 2 amazing Scouts. They've got Delpo on Demo, if I'm not mistaken. Like, this is really
this
solid.
is a team. This is a team with players who've gotten second before. I mean, these people are. These people in any other team usually would be, favorites to either contest Freo and take them to multiple series, or just like win it all in general. So we have Delpo on Demo Man, who's going to be matching up against Podonsky. Delpo is is, let's face it, he's one of the better players in North America. He's just consistently putting out high damage every single match. He looks unstoppable on middle, and I'm actually really interested to see the matchup versus Delpo and Badonsky. So it's kind of like experience and with Badonsky and Delpo with that a lot of natural talent, and we see we're going live onto this first middle.
We'll be taking things underway as soon as those lovely green words appear on your screen saying the match live. Starting first half, players are finding their position, and here we go. Tambo, who do you think is going to be coming out this mid?
Honestly, having played against him and playing with him, at this point, it's just impossible not to watch Delpo on these middles. He just does so much damage up top, usually hits every pipe somehow, and we see him now trading stickies with Badonsky, shooting his first couple of there, and his second two at the left side here. We're going to see him start to reload as he pushes across the point onto the top left area. Are his stickies flying, doing a lot of good damage onto that scout, and let's see what Badonsky can do across the point here.
Yeah, but connecting a nice pipe onto high five. Garbuglio actually managed to pick up Nursey there, so now it's going to be very desperate to keep 4-4 alive, but no, Badonsky will deny that escape from 4.
3v2 here. 3v2 and both scouts still alive on the side of Ascent, so we'll see Marmaduke jumping into the top left area. That scout very, very low outside of kitchen, and actually Marmaduke not getting any rockets on him, but that scout actually 4 health getting out lower, and Marmaduke actually getting out. No one dying in that 3v2. Slemnish might get caught out here in Saw, but actually does manage to escape, and looks like oh, he gets a nice rocket on, Showstopper I mean, gets a nice rocket on the Slemnish going out, so looks like the red Ascent team is going to be looking to push into second here, even off of that. 1 player advantage, they're already going in, but Delpo takes down Badonsky.
That's a very crucial pick here. We're now with no demo man to keep the damage out. Sandblast might get caught out here, does get chipped away by high five scattergun there, as he was trying to desperately get out. A lot of players committed here, very close. It's going to be Marmaduke girls rushing forward. No Ubers to talk about at the moment, but Nursey is very close to getting that Uber, so if they don't do anything quickly here, they could be in a bad position here. Good damage onto the scout, finally cleans him up. Not before Patty could clean up Delpo, and now they're desperate to get out because the Uber has been forced off by Nursey. They're chasing through Saw? No, they just kind of popped to stay alive.
They're not gonna be chasing too far there. That might have been a bad play to chase, so they're actually just going to give them that ground back onto yard, and now the Uber coming in from 4-4, we're going to see who leads this and where. And it's important to note that Yomps is going to be getting forward spawns, and Delpo is going to be spawning all the way back at blue last, so they might actually slow down here a little bit as Delpo just now getting into lobby, but looks like Garbuglio also trying to take control of this lobby area, the Saw area I mean, and red team playing super passive as the Uber does get popped out. Through kitchen, I do believe that was, and Slemnish not able to find anything, neither is high five, and leapfrog of an Uber, as they say.
Yeah, I gotta say, that seems to me like the kind of situation where you can see the difference between SVIFT and Ascent. I think in that situation, Ascent would have probably done a much better job of getting through rather than forcing the Uber blindly try to chase through the Saw, because Nursey was completely out of Saw as soon as they popped. Like, it was insanely really good like read or positioning or whatever to get out, and that was kind of a mistake on Swift's part.
Yeah, as we see Ascent now trying to peek in through kitchen. Actually, getting spammed pretty hard here. They might have to pop this Uber as now Garbuglio does force them, but Slemnish does get a counter kill onto Showstopper, but the Uber has been popped, and we see another leapfrog onto this middle point. Extremely back and forth gameplay so far.
Scap will go off to Ascent. And
it's important to note
do
as
the
well.
Exact same thing that we saw earlier from Ascent. They got forced off this time. Let's see if they can get deeper. 4-4 worried about all this spam is going to get all his players in before he can even walk through. They are going to just carefully walk through. Patty going to be the first frag from Slemnish, who's doing a very good job pistoling, taking control of the kitchen area. And they've done the best thing possible. They got literally all the space they needed without heals and kept their Uber, of course. So now we're going to be seeing how they work into second with this small Uber advantage.
It's dwindling as we speak, and that one frag onto Marmaduke girls is actually going to stifle their push a little bit as they don't have a soldier to get too aggressive. They're going to cut their losses here. Probably just go back to middle, take the exchange if they come in on that 2-player ad, but it's 1 for 2. It's probably going to be a reset here, but we do see a bit of an aggressive peek here from Sandblast, actually getting onto this demo maybe? No, they're taking a lot of damage, kind of sitting into this corner. The Uber does get forced from blue team. The red team needs to get their Uber, actually dropping Sandblast. It's going to be a solo if they want to go in, but they look like they don't. Petty also, once again, cutting his losses, and none of these medics are getting caught out at all. It's really impressive by both medics that, like 5 or 6 Uber exchanges in, they don't have a single death to them.
Right now we do see good aggression from Delpo, taking down Showstopper, also giving damage up on the Patty, who's going to get chipped away by High Five once again, who's now rotating into the lobby, gets his face into the face of Yamps and will deny that. He's going to be rotating around, eyes on Sandblast, who's got a buff, he's committing to it, but decides to back off. There's so much pressure coming from Swift, it's going to be very hard because the respawn timer is just not enough, and that's going to be enough to get them the cap, and Swift taking an early lead in this playoffs match on Snakewater.
Yep, and basically in that situation we had a two teams who were just kind of trading points back and forth, leapfrogging Ubers, very common situation, and usually the team with the better coordination gets the better end of that, as Delpo once again trading stickies early with Badonsky on this middle. Badonsky a little bit weaker, but we do see Badonsky now try to spam this top left area, not really connecting on much quite yet, as the scouts do get a frag up top. It's important to note that these this high ground presence is extremely important, and right now Red has all of it and has from the beginning, as they get 3 kills on the middle, and now 4-4 just trying to get out, and so they do concede mid to Ascent.
Marmaduke Girls spent that entire mid trying to take care of Showstopper, who wrapped through Kitchen, and Marmaduke Girls couldn't quite seal the kill, so Showstopper just ended up doing a very good job of staying alive while fighting Marmaduke Girls, and Marmaduke Girls was there to be with 4-4 as they were backing out. But still, without Marmaduke Grills doing anything at the mid, that kind of added to Ascent's strength, with Showstopper distracting from behind.
Yep, and as we can see, another situation where there's even Ubers, but Red Team actually getting very aggressive here, taking down Slemish early, but Yamps does get dropped here in this Uber. Marmaduke Grills extremely weak on point, but that Uber does get popped, as Ascent now has a 2-player advantage. This Sentry Gun is still alive, though, even though it's level 1, it can take down an enemy player, as Patty jumping in completely away from his team, and now we see that Sentry Gun actually doing work. As I said, no one shot it, no one shot when they were coming in, so it ended up hurting them as they were going out.
Yeah, that's a very good thing about a Sentry that gets ignored, is that escape factor really cuts people off. So now Swift, holding on to last, getting on to the second point now. They are even on both sides of the Uber charge rate. You could say, both around 50% now. Could be playing passively, waiting for, you know, the typical sack waves. I don't think anyone's going to go for a dry push here. Definitely not at all. So really, it's all about how they're going to orchestrate, you know, how to get that numbers advantage, how to get that Uber force, how they're going to be mitigating those issues.
Mm-hmm. And on to the second point, there's a couple ways you can sack. You know, the jumping through window is probably the most famous of those. Jumping through saw is also possible. Double sacks are possible. So it's a really creative map. Like, this map has so many options for you. It's not constricting at all. There's so many ways to get in, so many ways to dry push. So we can see Ascent pretty much do whatever they want. It's on them to push because SVIFT has the round, but you know, they can do any number of things. As we do see a soldier now killing himself in cheese, as Yamps also going in. This is probably potentially a double sack, as we see Yamps always does this. Always gets behind, usually gets a couple kills. What makes him such a great flank scout in general.
He's right now in the face of High Five, gonna get taken down though. High Five on his 4th kill in this life, rotating back to the rest of his players. And unfortunately, with Showstopper just now respawning, there is still enough time to push. They still have the numbers advantage, but it's not as big as they could hope for. Now that both Ubers are exchanging in the middle point, a lot of flashing going on from both sides. I do think Swift just barely has enough Uber to get out of there alive, but Slemnish will be caught out by Patty.
Oh, Showstopper now flanking behind. Delpo and Marmaduke Grills gets so much damage, but ends up getting taken down because the health pack was taken. The other soldier now coming in, I believe that is Patty, out of rockets, but Sandblast coming in lower, cleaning up on the damage from the soldier who died 15 seconds ago. Really, really good coordination so far by Ascent to get these 2 kills. Now going to be able to push clean through Saw. Their medic doesn't really get damaged at all as they push. Badonsky able to lock out most of the aggression from SVIFT. And they're kind of caught here in this position too as they drop to the low ground. Badonsky and Yamps both getting frags. And High Five weak onto the barrel, or weak onto the logs. Oh, but Nursey going down to Garbuglio.
That was, like, I'm pretty sure, it doesn't matter, this round's over.
Yeah,
this alive, and Badonsky
only one spawn.
Trapping instead of gapping. Well, they got the kill anyway, so that worked out for them, but either way, Ascent quickly takes the retaliation round. That was a nice air shot from the pocket, taking down whoever it was that was bombing Nursey, but Nursey still got taken down there.
Yep, and We do see now a 1-1 scoreline. Both teams extremely even. Both teams shown they can push out and they can hold. So I'm excited to see this middle as both demos once again trading stickies. No one taking high ground quite yet. But we see a bomb in and a 1v1 now from Showstopper and Garbuglio in kitchen as Showstopper does get the better of it. A scout helping him now. Marmaduke Grill's taking him out, but they trade 2 for 1. And this middle looking in the way of Ascent as SVIFT still has high ground, but looks like the scouts want to change that, and relatively quickly as Yomps up top doing a lot of damage.
Now we see Pedanti making his way forward. He's getting so much damage on Delpo, but Delpo is going to stay alive. Ooh, one more sticky. So much damage dumped into Delpo. At least 300 damage or so. Thanks to all those heals, Delpo will survive, and they are actually with all their players at this second point. So we've managed to see a mid-fight elapse, and then all of a sudden we're at the stalemate of second, as if nothing happened, as if they went to mid and then backed out with all their players.
Exactly, and it's how it goes a lot of times. These medics are playing literally, like, I haven't seen any mistakes really from either of the medics so far, except for maybe 4-4 getting cut out lower that last round. So far the medics have not died either on middles or on these transition pushes. So really kudos to both medics so far as they're playing really great TF2 as we see the drive push maybe potentially coming in from lower. The combo from Ascent actually trying to get through this right door. See what they can do with this.
Yeah, Yomps got so deep this time, and I don't think anyone noticed. Finally, they do notice. Slem's just going to take a lot of damage there before he can get fully buffed. So Yomps is keeping him at bay while the rest of the fight is happening near the shack. Pedanti gets taken down, though. He was a little bit too far forward, and Showstopper will get pistoled down. Marmaduke Grills will be taken down, though, by Patty, and Yomps is still behind. So this is kind of a weird position where there's one person behind and 2 players dead forward. So what do you do?
I think the correct answer is to push here, as they pretty much have a 3-player ad, especially now that the 3 players are dead from Ascent. I think SVIFT has all the room in the world they could really want, as Ascent is spread super thin near the Psy area, but Patty, infamous for those really great exchanges to deny this ground, is what he's known for really in Invite, is just a complete denial of pushes. He does have that Uber, he's so good at it. And now getting aggressive onto the catwalk, once again trying to deny the combo in, and Slemish now trying to get in clean, but actually ends up getting taken down by Yomps. And Patty also taking down Marmaduke Grill's trading actually, but the scout really aggressive. Yomps takes down Garbuglio and the soldiers jumping in. This medic could get caught out on last.
That was just really interesting watching Yomps just slowly peck away at all these players, and then there was just a complete crumble. We do see the respawn from Swift coming in desperately to try and stop the point. Good bomb for all. Marmaduke Grill's able to surf around the corner and get on top of them, and as well as Slemnish doing the culling strike. Sandblast there, so very clutch defense, but time is ticking away on that decap. It's very hard to push out when it's already 50% there if you're worried about any potential backcaps.
We might see a team
however,
fight
get all
here.
their players on a point in time, and we'll be seeing potentially another stalemate. Potentially a stalemate, Tampa. That's what we're excited about.
Oh, yeah, but we do see a push coming in from Ascent. They do pop their Uber extremely early. Blue's going to have a much better Uber here, as they do drop Patty as well. Getting really aggressive onto these Ubers, that's been Ascent's problem throughout the season, is they've taken these really aggressive exchanges and they haven't worked out so much. They work out sometimes against these lower level teams, but Ascent getting kind of impatient with these pushes, and I think it might actually come back to bite them because they're losing 2 players a lot more often than they're getting 2. So we're going to be seeing how this pans out onto this stalemate reversal situation where now one team is pushing second and the other team is holding.
But this time they've opted to go with Yomps in the forward spawn. He won't be able to stay because now he recognizes, of course, there's no way they're pushing, so let's just work with our sniper pick. We've got him watching through lower. 1 charge shot, it's all going to take down forward. The angle is lined up. Nobody's seen it quite yet. There is some spam. There it is. It's called out. The shot missed. No connections there, so Swift are fully aware of Yomps is sniping right now, but that's still not going to make it any easier for them.
Yep, and he elects to stay on sniper. A couple times we'll see snipers, if they get called out, they sometimes switch. Yomps isn't that type of player, though. He has all the confidence in the world to take these peeks, as he does take down high 5, trying to get out lower, just with a body shot, 150 damage. Absolutely free, as Yomps now peeking lower. He has more room now that they've lost 2 players, so I'd like to see what he can do. And now Ascent kind of pushing through kitchen and lower, kind of splitting their push. I like this, as they do force that Uber out. Pretty much even, though, as both teams have pretty much the same percent, but the players are going to be on the side of Ascent, as Swift's forward spawns are just coming in, and I like this high ground as Sandblast does take a kill. And also gets out top left. Oh no, he gets chipped down. He had about 1 health who would have gotten out. And Slemnish getting a 2k might secure this push here from SVIFT.
The scouts of Swift are doing so much work right now, and High Five very low on health. Oh! It's denied by Showstopper, who is not afraid to connect those directs when the opportunity is presented to him. Delpo, though, walking forward, taking a lot of damage into the lobby area, pushing all of Ascent back out of the lobby. So Swift will take control of their second point. And what a complete reversal. That was looking grim, very bleak with that brief crumble on the second point in the Saw room earlier in this same round. But now, things are looking up for Swift.
Yep, and we see pretty much exactly even Ubers, so sacks are possible as we see off-class from Sandblast onto the Sniper, and Spy now from Yomps, potentially just checking, but we do see Sandblast connect a shot onto Marmaduke. And yeah, Yomps is just checking for off-classes at this point, and I guarantee you Sandblast just wants to take more and more aggressive peeks as he gets these frags, as he should, because this is how you get kind of dominated as a sniper, is you let the sniper take control of the lobby, but they're spamming him out quite well. And I don't think he's going to be able to get a peek on the medic like he wanted to.
Yeah, but that's going to open up the door in Cheese, and that's going to allow them to pick up Patty, who was taking so much damage, didn't have enough health to survive 2 players at once. So now Ascent are taking as much room as they can. They're going to pop off really early, get on the face of 4-4, who's going to pop his Uber right away. High Five is the only one really taking this on the side of Swift, and that's not going to do anything for them. So 4-4 is just going to be letting his players get in position, and Ascent is going to start slowly backing out through the left side, and lobby control is being forfeited. But Onsi's putting a lot of sticks in a lot of places, but well, he's really got control of his lower, and he's holding it. He's looking for it, but Swift know better than to peek too far. And Sniper actually.
Yeah, they do. They still have Sandblast on Sniper, and I really like what Patty's doing so far. He's showing Swift that if they're trying to get aggressive into lobby, if they're trying to get aggressive lower, it doesn't really matter. They're going to be met with an Uber. He's not afraid to take these exchanges. He doesn't want Swift to get any unnecessary room. So if they're going to fight for lobby, they're going to have to take an Uber. They're not just going to get it for free, and he's doing a really great job of denying space so far, and I really want to see him keep doing that. He's playing really confidently. He's not letting Swift get away with things, and as Slemnish is now on Sniper, that's pretty much what they want to do, just get as much room as possible. But if Patty keeps playing the way he's playing, it's just not going to work out for them.
Slemnish now lining up his shot through the back of the train. Can't quite see anything in position here. What do you see? Rotation. The Sniper is actually really deep in the corner, trying to get an angle, and he's getting called out by the soldier Marmaduke Grills, who's sitting in the safety of the fence and looking through the little intertwined holes. Calling out the sniper position for Slemnish. There it is! Slemnish gets the shot.
As we can see, Slemnish apparently on a bit more Adderall than Sandblast, as does win that 1v1, and I know Sandblast is he's quite apt at that sniper class, so Slemnish does win the 1v1 as he does start to peek a bit further in to this left side area. Patty, though, once again, denying the space. Oh my god, he gets headshot instantly. That was a pixel headshot. And the soldier gets headshot too. Slemnish is going off right now, and they're going to be able to push off this. SVIFT getting just so much room off of that sniper, but they do drop High Five, and they drop Marmaduke. 404 not in a position to Uber either of his players going in, even after all that damage, and you have to just feel horrible right now if you're SVIFT, getting so much aggressive room and just not doing anything with it. Actually going to lose second for it, potentially mid as well.
And not having that Uber because of just that disaster of a push in the last situation. It's like, oh, we have even numbers, oh, we have a number advantage. Do we pop here? Do we not? It was a rough position, but Ascent capitalized on the half steps, and that's going to allow them pushing the middle right now. Patty taking up top, but Sandblast also taking a little bit of spam there. Can't quite get the room they need, and there's some pressure coming in from the kitchen. Garbuglia will get taken down, and Yomps is creating a lot of room for the rest of the team, but Onsi will clear out the rest of the players through the saw, and the cap will start getting underway. They will deny Garbuglio. I don't think he's going to get that forward spawn.
Yep, and SVIFT is doing a really good job right now of playing back and getting their Uber. They have 90%. I think they want to give them second for now and then refight, as Slemnish does have a really aggressive position here. Actually, both scouts backing up. They don't even want to fight this. Even Ubers, and they probably just want to have an off class at this point. Yeah, as we see, High Five does switch to Engineer, and Slemnish does switch to Sniper. That's pretty much the default off class nowadays for NA Invite TF2s. They do have that Engineer and Sniper going up, and it really does do a lot of work in denying bombers, and still having a pit class as Showstopper gets absolutely mulched. Oh my goodness, Podonsky with the trap and the pipes, doing about 600 damage in 1 femtosecond. Just absolutely destroying the team of SVIFT, as they do not see the gun when they push in. Does red team. This gun probably watches the point, so they're going to need to take this down, as both Ubers do get exchanged, but the spawn's coming in 4 seconds on the side of SVIFT. We'll see Delpo have a scout on top of his head and also getting taken down, but the point is captured, and that was a slobber knocker, if I do say so myself. Row.
That's one way to put it. You know, Ascent, against all odds, we had the full back, forth, back. Last to last to last, and Ascent managed to close it out. So now going into this next minute, we're going to be seeing how SVIFT can come back, because they had a commanding lead. Delpo now sitting on top of the shacking around it. Spots out Showstopper going lower. Yamps also playing in position here. We're going to be seeing a quick bomb from Arda Grills, getting good damage onto Nursey, and a follow bomb from Barguglio. Not going to be able to kill Nursey, who's going to be juking for her life. Gets down lower, and Badonski's going to connect a couple pipes there. Delpo doing the same, taking down Yamps and Patty. And it's looking like just 4-4 who's getting chased down through cheese. Nope, it's a double back. Sandblast doing a very nice job. Got a 2-shot, 4-4, and that late death is going to be disastrous. Potentially a big factor.
Yep, we have an 11-second spawn on 404 after he died, so I don't even believe any of his team is going to... I mean, I don't think his team is going to be completely buffed by the time Ascent, as he just spawning right now. Ascent already pretty much postured on second, willing to go into lobby. I think we're going to see an Uber charge here, and we might see Garbuglio's gun take some of the brunt of the Uber away, but it's probably going to be a demo scout Uber if I had to guess, as we see Soldier from Ascent actually coming in. They have a Soldier Uber when they do have a gun. Actually don't. Badonski is now leading the push through the shutter door. Actually that scout is, and they do spot the gun out instantly, so Badonski's going to be able to take that down pretty quick. Actually taking a bit more time than normal, as we see the rotation here from SVIFT on blue side, having this heavy fully buff still, 300 health, actually getting taken down, and yep, the rotation and the gun was way too much on the side of SVIFT. It actually worked out for them in the end, and now they have a massive ad with massive player ad as well. Nursey's going to be able to get out, but this could be even a midpoint here from SVIFT.
Well, I saw Marmaduke's great chase there. Nursey wasn't quite safe there. But Marmaduke Girls thought better of it. There was a fully buffed scout coming in to defend Nursey. So now we see a small ad on the side of 404. They should know they have it. I mean, they're in position like they want to push, but they're leaving their flank pretty open. Ascent is playing more defensively than in a flank position. They want to try and force the Uber and then get players out, but Patty's taking so much damage here. Could potentially get picked off here. The bomb comes in. Yamps is sniping in through the forward spawn. Not sure of a shot, but he is in position to go for something here. Tried to go for the medic there with a quick snipe. Couldn't quite thread that needle. So now we're going to be seeing Nursey with Uber ready to push back in the middle.
Yep, and another leapfrog situation. This worked out for SVIFT in the first round and Ascent in the second round. So let's see who it works out for in this round. As Ascent does come in from bats, usually taking the Uber is Patty, but he's kind of behind Yamps at this point, and we do see a pick here without an Uber being popped, so they're going to be able to take this point for free, as I guarantee they want to roll through lower, as they're already getting in position to go lower, as SVIFT kind of backing up quite far already on bats. Oh, and Marmaduke killing himself, not quite getting the forest either. Nursey still on for full health, and they have a dwindling advantage, but second point is theirs for the taking.
With the way SVIFT handled that last defense without Uber, I think they have a little bit more of a chance of surviving a last push with Uber. And so Nursey pushing up with this Uber a little bit confidently. He's going to get low health on poor Mr. Patty. He's going to be getting out with his life. 4-4 does pop Uber off in response, and actually great pipe from Delpo to connect onto Nursey. There is a hiding Showstopper, though. He's going to be dropping down at a very good time. He's chasing down 4-4. But actually deciding to go for the last instead of for the medic. I think that's a bit of a misplay, because now he's going to get nothing for his troubles, and Badonski getting taken out by Marmaduke Girls at the second point. That was not the play from Showstopper. I think he should have gone for the med instead.
So now, with only 2 down from Ascent, we might see SVIFT go through lower here and try to continue to push, as Patty kind of denying a bit of the aggression so far, but Ascent already backing up through Saw. They're not really meeting anyone, so I think they're going to be able to give up, get second point, or midpoint here is SVIFT, so pretty good push so far, and I'd like to see them continue to roll this with their 20 advantage. as they do have Uber almost 90% as they're walking through Saw. Marmaduke Grills taking this aggressive position, and we do see Patty really aggressive once again. Might get caught out here, actually gets out pretty clean. Still pretty low health. He's going to end up being taken out as 90% Uber on Nursey side.
Yeah, and this is going to be an easy stop for them if they can. Oh, wow. Actually, a lot of damage actually happened to Showstopper, who's very low on health. And so all these players of Ascent, they did manage to stop the point, but Swift managed to pick their spacing really well, because now there's no health on Sandblast. He gets taken down. Following up on Showstopper, that's High5's 4th kill. They finished off the cap, and now they have a big numbers advantage, and they might be able to catch up on Ansky here, who's desperate to go for a pipe. Can't do it, though. And so now Swift have all these numbers, and the respawn timer is disastrous.
And this last point is pretty much free from SVIFT, as we see the respawns coming out, not even bombing the point. It's 2-2. This is a really close game, and if this is telling for any of the rest of the set, I think we're in for a, perhaps a map 3, if not some golden caps. I don't know. They seem to looking dead even at this point, trading rounds, trading caps. I'm excited to see what they can do on this middle. As once again, we do see both demos rolling out lower, both demos not really taking as much damage as Showstopper once again elects to go into the kitchen, this time not being met by anyone, but the early bomb here from blue team as they do take this point. Delpo already across the point. Red team doesn't even look like they even got to middle quite yet, but the return frags coming in as we do see a 3v3 on this middle. Oh, Sandblast getting that point presence does take down, and this late game middle from Ascent just seems too strong from for SVIFT. As that was almost really bad.
I was only watching that through walls. I was looking at their outlines, and I saw 404 surf a meek rocket, and he was down to a single bar of health. And then I saw the final jump, and then the escape plan came out, and I was like, no, don't let it be. Don't let it be. 4-4 could not survive. High5 did a very good job of trying to slow down that soldier, but in the end, it was just too much. 4-4 getting taken down is going to be a disaster. I think with only 3 minutes left in this half, Ascent are almost guaranteed this round, or at least this half.
Say that, but as we see once again, actually Badonsky taking down this gun rather quickly, and blue team also kind of getting forced back into spawn. We see so much cap time so early, but the return frags coming in from SVIFT. Delpo doing a lot of damage. The point is so capped as we do see more and more players falling 2v2. Oh my god, Nursey just stands on the point, and High5 just gets off the point. As you know how, okay, so when you give a gift on Steam, you can just accept or deny. They could have just held that point, but they just clicked the deny button. I'm not sure. It looked like a pretty free hold to me, but High5 just gets off the point. Nursey caps it off, and we do see a advantage here for SVIFT or Ascent here going into the second half.
Yeah, Nursey had the presence of mind to say, if High5's going to be fighting my demo, I can just walk onto the point. As soon as Nursey saw that opportunity, she took it. Just walked right on there, and that's all you really need. You don't even have to worry about like paying attention to the cap time. You just know as soon as the player walks off, you can start capping it again and distract for your demo, or even just win the round, and that's exactly what went down. So Ascent will clean it up with a 3-2. We can quickly look at some stats, talk about some things real quick here. Do you have them loaded up, my friend?
I do.
Run us through them.
And okay, so on the side of SVIFT, we see on both teams the frags are within 2, as SVIFT has 68 and Ascent has 70. So in total, both teams pretty much trading frags. As also the damage is within 1,000. So let's see if these stats can tell us what gave Ascent that advantage. As we do see Sandblast top fragging the server, Badonsky top well. Delpo is top damaging the server, but top damaging his team is Badonsky. I remember that on that last point, pretty much Ascent said they didn't really need a sniper for a pick class. They said we have Badonsky, and he just got a 3K. They don't even need to hit that sniper shot. He's just entry fragging as demo class, so he pretty much won that round for his team, putting out solid damage, not really dying. Lowest death of any fragging class. He's not even in double digits quite yet, so that's very important from him. And we do see the soldiers on both teams kind of struggling a bit here, but in such a stalematy game, we have to understand that scouts are just king in terms of transition pushes and things like that. So we do see the scouts, all of them getting pretty high kills, but once again, the frags are so even that it's hard to tell.
That was a very good analysis for someone like me who doesn't have the stats page open. I got a very nice picture of everything that was going on there. So very well done, Tampo. Thank you for that. Players
No
are
problem.
readying up very shortly here. We're seeing a lot of dot readies. Oh, and then Garbuglio just not ready.
Garbuglio's Hot Pocket is out of the microwave, so we do need to have him go get that before it gets too cold.
No, those things never get cold. Like you have to wait like
You have to
30
put an
minutes.
ice
You have
cube
to let
in
it cool for 30 minutes before it gets remotely, edible.
Yeah. Or yeah, before you don't like burn all the taste buds off your mouth. Yes. And both medics, once again, I don't think we have a single Uber charge dropped in that entire 30 minutes. So both medics, kudos to them once again. 404 only having 5 deaths and ESEA only having 3 deaths. So like I said in the middle of that round, both medics playing stupendously, if that's a word. But not getting caught out in any transitions, barely getting killed at last, and we do see ESEA 3 deaths in half an hour. That's rather impressive against a team like SVIFT.
Yeah, and I can actually pinpoint those 2 deaths that kind of make the difference. If you consider the 3 deaths from ESEA to be the same 3 deaths from 404, the 2 outlier deaths from 404 were, one was a mid, that was the first mid actually, he did die. I don't remember if you caught that. And then it was that one play from lower, trying to go through lower, where he was just in a poor position, and then Yomps and Badonsky just walked forward and did all the work. It was impressive.
Yep, and we do see more players readying up now. Garbuglio, I believe, is still unreadied, so we might have to wait a bit longer, but I think most of the players from Ascent are about ready. And can we just please once again talk about the fact that it was even Uber's situation, SVIFT holding last, and then randomly Badonsky gets 3 kills and then pipes another scout. Like, how do you even do that in this type of game? I don't understand how he's that good.
I can tell you exactly what happened. He's walking up the left side. He's in the lobby. He's got the sticks above the awning, above that little doorway. And so these 2 soldiers, they see a juicy demo pick, right? So they tried to both jump, like a little quick side hop to close the distance, and they walked right into the stickies, and then consequently the follow-up pipe. So that was exactly how that went down.
Yep, and as we do see this middle coming in once again, both demos looking like they want to continue to go lower. No changes there, no jumps, as we do see ESEA rolling out here, healing that pocket all the way up on that right side. We do see Showstopper also going down really, really early as the counter bombs do come in from Patty, but Patty's pretty weak, not really going to bomb aggressive, and I think already Red has so much more ground on this middle fight that even if they do trade these frags, it's going to be hard for them to get in. But oh my goodness, the frags coming in from both teams. Once again, a 3v3, but the point is almost capped here on the side of Red. So we do see an aggressive bomb here on the top left. I don't know what's going to happen here, but now we have forward spawns from Red team, so I do believe Blue team is going to opt to back up. Yep, and they start backing up from Saw as they know that those forward spawns are going to get there much faster than their spawns.
Good presence of mind from SVIFT to not only keep the high ground, keep the forward aggression, but that allowed them to also keep the cap time up. Garbuglio going to be sacking in right now, gets taken down though. Tried to find a good time to get in there, and I think that was a good time, but there are just so many players around, it's really hard to get anything these days when it comes to bombing a very good team. So now Ascent coming in with their 1-man advantage, going to be getting some good damage on top of Marmaduke Grills, who's trying his best to juggle some players. He's got that ancient pocket in him. He's got the pocket blood, so he tries his best, but can't quite catch anyone else out. So it's just kind of a, let's see if we can get the best of this exchange, and Ascent couldn't quite execute it to the best of their ability, but they got out, so that works out for them.
And I want to stress again, just the way Patty's playing this game, if you play against him, you always have to be on your toes, because if he bombs in, or if he has any advantage at all, you have to be ready for an Uber from any side, because you see he went in lower there with Sandblast just to take the exchange, but a lot of teams will get caught out by that sort of aggression. People are not usually ready for, entire teams pushing in or entire combos pushing in when they're only 1 player down, as we do now see the sniper from SVIFT going up as High Five does peek the Saw area and might catch Patty out, does body shot him down, 150 damage. And now I don't think he's going to be peeking that same location again, as he does try and rotate a bit outside of window. Let's see.
Samuel's not going to catch any fish, though. players are totally aware of how to work around these sight lines. This is Invite 101. If there's a sniper, you know where to be sitting. You know where all the best places to hold are. And so that just makes it a lot harder for Hi-Fi to do anything. But the turnaround of this is, when you know they have a sniper and you're trying to play in these positions, window is so free for your soldier to just get around the corner and jump down. So just charge up a shot and then have, you know, oh, no!
Unfortunate. Gets actually rocketed out of the window. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not, but I gotta learn that rocket if it was. He peeked window for a microsecond and then got juggled right out of it and killed. So we might now see once again another aggressive Uber by Patty, as he just does not want SVIFT to get any room, as they do have a counter sack from Showstopper. Does a lot of damage to 404. I think he took him down to around 60 health, so almost a good force there, as we do see another reset with potential counter sack coming in soon enough by SVIFT.
Swift doesn't know this. Going back to the strategy I was just ruminating on, you know. If you have a sniper, you put them into a position where they don't want to get into the sight lines, and that opens up the door for your soldier to come in. Actually, no, Badonsky was able to catch out High-Five, and Delpo couldn't quite save him. He's also taking a lot of damage here, so that's opened the door for Ascent to take some room here. They are all in position, not a single player lagging behind. Ubers are going to get forced off here, getting into the face of Armored Grills, who's doing a very good job of juggling players. He's going to try and catch up Badonsky. He's going to take a nice little sticky midair on his own. And Yomps is going to be the first death in this the first casualty of this mid-exchange. And Ascent are trying to get out, while Armored Grills is still causing some havoc inside the saw room with a nice little ballet with Patty, and they're both going to survive magically.
Yep, and it's important to note as well, this two-player down here, we do see SVIFT going lower, and I like this dry push, because even though they do have that respawn now, he's not quite in lobby yet, so any sort of aggression here is going to be a 4v5, as we do see Patty really, really weak onto that bridge, but 404 eats a fat pipe coming into the ramp here, and now with the Uber advantage going by the way of Ascent, we're going to see everyone just trying to swarm the medic and not quite get as much damage as they need, as Ascent does secure their medic's life, and now probably the midpoint.
Slimish and Delpo are going to be able to get out. Cheeky little trap right near the shack. Don't think it's going to catch anyone, but you never know. They are checking for players. No!
Oh no!
Oh man, poor Mr. Delpo, who was setting up a new trap. Could have gotten a blind deck kill on Nursey if he waited half a second longer. So they will be pushing with the Uber now, getting into the second point here. Yomps doing a very good job of getting some ground for the rest of his team. Sandblast taking control of lobby now. Clearing out the left side. They have plenty of Uber advantage to work with here. So we'll see how this goes for them.
Yep, and we do see a similar setup on the side of SVIFT as we have seen before. The Heavy and the Engineer. Badonsky does come in once again. He's going to be able to take this gun down relatively quickly. It actually lives for quite a long time, as this Heavy running back outside onto this right point. Going to be able to take a lot of damage, as the point is mostly capped. Sticky's still on it, not quite dead. He does dead on Sandblast, so they're down one, and the Heavy now getting Ubered as the counter Uber comes in, and Ascent is already out. Another failed last push into that Heavy. It looks like the gun is proving to be a bit more difficult to deal with than originally intended, and especially when you have to kill that gun and then rotate to the other side so quickly for that Heavy, you can't really miss a step at all. So, and Ascent is barely not fast enough on that rotation, as they do try to take another fight here onto second. Let's see what they got.
Yeah, Badonsky's currently sitting on the point, putting some damage onto the Demo Man, but can't do any other damage. So the rest of the players of Ascent are going to be backing up as Patty tries to escape, but the bombs from Armored Grills as well as Garbuglia are doing a little bit of damage there. Slimish will be able to pick up, or no, excuse me, Delpo will be able to pick up onto Badonsky thanks to the help of Slimish. So with a demo pick, this is absolutely prime real estate for forcing the Uber. They have a demo pick, and that's slowed things down from Ascent, but as soon as he's respawned...
Oh, Sandblast behind, actually, underneath the bridge. We could... I don't know how he got there. He must have burrowed his way in through the tunnels or something. He's a little rat, so... We do see him now going underneath the point. I don't think he's been spotted. He's just crouching around here. He might try and wait for the aggression for his team, maybe set up a pinch play. Still 106 health, so I'm actually really interested to see how they work this in.
Come on, Sandblast, you're so close.
You can do it.
His team needs to be calling out the medic position right now. He's going bridge, and that's not going to do anything for him, because 4-4's going to see him a mile away.
Oh, they do get the
Rocket
force.
is going to be able to get the damage off and force the Uber Swift to get 2 frags of their own, though. So with the 2 frag advantage, they're going to be able to get some kind of opportunity into this middle point. with one less soldier and one less scout, it's going to be a little bit easier to take lower control. They are going to be sending in a nice little bomb from Garbuglio, who's going to be getting in the face of Nursey, who's going to be popping off right away. They're going to be chasing now desperately. They got 2 frags of their own during that uber force, or getting forced. In the process of getting forced, they were able to get 2 frags, but all they can also get out from the rest of that is just the second point, and uber advantage is in favor of Swift.
And once again, Patty in that cell location. As they tried to get the force initially onto Nursey, Patty just like literally puked out 400 damage per second onto the saw area and just denied everyone. Unfortunately, Garbuglio did kind of slip in and get that force. They did end up getting 2 kills, but I would have liked them to keep that Uber onto the second point. But now SVIFT having that 40 advantage or so, trying to peek into right lobby, as Slemnish is trying to lead this push, I think straight through, as they do use extremely early. Nursey's all the way out lower, and they don't really have any chance. Oh, but a fat bomb coming in from Marmaduke, almost actually catching out at least Patty, going down below 50 health, and I believe Nursey was under 100 as well. As the refight coming in, dude, it's just leapfrog after leapfrog, as they do get 2 kills apiece, and now 4v4 coming in with massive advantage here from Nursey, and you know that Patty wants to just take this Uber straight through lower and get as much ground as they can. They haven't even used that. They're just catching them all into spawn as they do finally get stickies onto the point, but then now the demo is so weak, does get taken down. Point is pretty much well capped at this point, and we do see, but SVIFT losing numbers once again. Ascent is perfectly willing to back up, just let them walk into them, and actually not going to be refighting at all. We're going to see another leapfrog situation.
Yeah, but with how that kind of played out, I'm pretty sure 4-4 might think they have like a 30 or 40 ad when really it's less than 20 now. So I don't think they're going to be pushing out, especially with so much cap time.
Especially with this engineer too, yeah.
No, absolutely not. No, they're sitting down. They're sitting tight. They're only down 1 round. All they need is another round to keep themselves in contention for winning the Snake Water in this best of 3.
And once again, I'm going to keep giving kudos to these medics. Such a scrappy match so far. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Leapfrog exchange after leapfrog exchange. And they're just not dying. None of the bombs are being effective. None of the scouts are getting behind and killing them. No drops yet. Just literally like perfect play from Nursey so far. I haven't seen her even be in a position to get killed by an Uber yet, let alone just be killed by one.
Ooh, the fast bomb from Showstopper does not work out for him. He hits himself in the face, and ooh, Slemnish still connecting shots, while Marmaduke goes in a little bit of room here, a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of peace of mind by throwing in some extra spam there. So Slemnish will stay alive, thankfully. That spam was really hard from Ascent, and they're a little bit afraid now, because Slemnish can't hit those shots.
Yep, and we do see him finally get pressured out as Ascent is wanting to take control of lobby, but Slemnish keeping this angle. It's important to note that Slemnish keeping this angle just kind of forces Ascent not to really even mess with right lobby at all, or left lobby for them, right lobby for SVIFT, but they're just consistently walking into the sight line right here, so if they want to do anything, they're going to have to do it from the right, and then that's where the gun is, so actually we have a bit of a teleporter dispenser wall coming in. I'm not quite sure what to call this. They have an exit near the shutter and a dispenser in front of the gun, so a bit of an innovative play. Just maybe using that teleporter to farm points. What do you think?
Well, I can talk about it at a later time as Yomp sends the rocket amazingly into the face of 4-4, gets to the force, and is staying alive. Did so much damage into Garbuglio as well. Showstopper and Yomps are going to go down, but they're trading that for an Uber, so this is looking really good because Swift can't even push out. They have the numbers, but they can't push out.
Yep, and now we see the same dynamic we've seen pretty much the entire game. A team with Uber advantage pushing into a heavy and an engineer, and so far it's been very, very difficult for these teams to just like get complete focus of what they need to do. They need to destroy the gun, then they need to destroy the heavy, then they need to pressure point. It's like a checklist when you're kind of doing these things, and so far no team has been able to secure.
This is what it's all been waiting for. You ready?
Oh, the dispenser distracts them for a microsecond, and it might be enough time. The gun not even going down yet as the heavy, still at 300 health, finally getting taken down as this Uber actually being super effective across the point is so much damage, and now the cap time coming in. Oh, but we see another example of just not enough kills, not fast enough. This engineer heavy setup is working out so well for both teams. It doesn't look like any Uber advantage has anything to do with these last pushes. It just matters how long this heavy can stay alive, it seems like. Who needs Uber when you have a heavy, you know? I don't know.
Defensive measures very strong there. I'll briefly talk about that while Badonsky tries to use a blind debt, tries to catch someone out there. The strat there is you put a teleporter in front of the shutter and then try to get a telefrag. I'm not even kidding. And it actually almost worked too, because I think Nursey walked right over it right before it got cleared out officially. So there could have been a chance for a telefrag there, and that does kill through Uber. Mardu Grill's now going into the middle point. They want to take control of this. They have Uber advantage, and they have the space, but nobody else is in. What is happening? Okay, somehow they got all the space with only 2 players. That was weird.
Yeah, Ascent, probably thinking they had a more aggressive position than they really did with their medic. I'm not sure they even spotted the medic out when they were pushing, so they might have thought that they were getting flanked or something. Decided to back up. Not too bad of an idea, especially now that the Ubers have evened out and they have an advantage in terms of rounds. And when you have an advantage in terms of round, the game actually does kind of change. Your mentality kind of changes to a more defensive stance. You're willing to give up these fights as you know, the first half Patty would have never given up that point in general. Now he's kind of willing to be a bit more lenient with his Ubers. He doesn't really want to get caught out, because anything that leads to a round is now you pretty much have given away your advantage for the map. So as time ticks down here, I'd like to see Ascent kind of slow the game down as a sack does come in, but Patty might have other plans as he does call for his medic. He starts to walk lower. They did this before as Yomps really wants to get this aggressive peak lower and does take down Delpo. That's an incredibly important pick, and headshots another scout. Oh my goodness, Yomps going off here as the Uber exchange is about to get popped off. Red Uber it's slightly better, but the health is going to be way worse afterwards, I'm sure, as these players might get caught out actually. The soldier probably about to die near Saw, but they do get a counter frag into them. 2 frags going the way of Ascent. 4v4 once again. Sniper still on the side of Ascent as Badonsky does take down High 5. Red team needs to get out quickly as Sandblast also taking up the pressure. No forward spawns even in sight as Sandblast continuing to walk forward. Delpo dying and 4-4 down to 60 health.
4-4 might just get out in time because Badonsky's more interested in catching the forward spawners. So hopefully nobody walks forward. They know better. They hear the stickies. They're playing careful. F5 does a courtesy air blast. Throws a flare out as well. Detonator even. And now the cap finally happens. So Ascent looks like they're going to be able to take down the second point while Swift gets prepared for a last hold.
Yep, and can you guess what off classes we're going to see at last? Maybe the ones that have worked out like 4 times each for both teams is actually Red kind of being really aggressive in the lobby. It might bite them in the end. They're starting to get back to last now, as we're probably going to see the off classes come through. Actually, not enough time for a gun. Garbuglio finally on Engineer, but Ascent already in before the gun's even getting to level 1, as we do see the Uber coming in. Now so much damage onto the Heavy. They do need to go back into the spawn as this point is already being capped. No stickies on the point from blue team though, as that Uber does get counter popped from SVIFT. And as time ticks down, we do get to see these Uber exchanges happening more and more frequently.
Badonsky's a big pick here from Marmaduke as he is able to walk his way into lobby. Now to open the door. Yomps getting chased away by a scout. That's something I've never seen or considered. What? No! Patty, how? He just
I don't understand.
killed 404 inside of the lobby. I think he wrapped from lower and found his way in the face of 404. So now there's going to be a huge Uber advantage on the side of Ascent.
Yep, and we do see some creative traps from Delpo. I don't even think I've ever seen that before. Onto the right side of logs. Could potentially be a dangerous situation as lower is also trapped, but once again, Nursey now with the 70 ad. Pushing into second, they might even get forced through lower. It looks like SVIFT has no intention of letting them through without at least spamming, but I do believe they're about to back up as Delpo probably prays someone walks into his trap. But oh, we do see a bomb now coming in late on the flank. Does not get the force from Garbuglio as the ad does kind of dwindle down, but High 5 probably has his gun up to around level 2 at this point. Only level 1, I'm sure it's about to get upgraded. So once again, going in through lower, Sandblast does love taking this Uber in through lower as he doesn't even pop yet the gun. Not spotted out quite yet. He does get taken into lobby, does get taken down from Marmaduke Grills. The point is being side-capped. That scout's destroyed, the demo's destroyed, and they do get the round.
Sandblast did a good job there. He sat on the corner, let the cap time come in, and then, you know, weaved his way around the players that sacked themselves on the point. It's a good job from Ascent there, securing another round. It's 4-2 with 13 minutes on this clock. And the first map is looking all but assuredly in Ascent's favor.
Yep, and hopefully this mid we do see some sort of change from Swift as the time is running down. We probably want to see them be a bit more aggressive on this middle, try and make a few more plays, as their high ground is for them, but oh my goodness, Badonsky gets a massive sticky and a high five, taking him down so low as that soldier also getting good damage on both scouts, gets taken down, and now the low ground is on the side, or the high ground is on the side of Ascent, but both soldiers end up dying, and now it's once again almost an even fight. Swift with the one player advantage, and Sandblast might also get caught out, so Ascent is now leaving this point.
Good shot from Marty Girls, who's keeping the aggression forward in the saw. He's on top of Badonsky. Juggles him very nicely. One fallout rocket is all it's going to take. Can they do it? A scout gets in the face of him. Yam's taking so much damage. Surfs away like a champ. Badonsky gets taken down by Slemnish. And Marty Girls, who's doing so much damage, finally gets taken down here in the vicinity of the pipe. But the numbers are still strong in Swift's favor. And Slemnish is getting in the face of some players. High Five taking a lot of damage from Yamsu, who's no longer a frag, does get the frag before getting sniped by that sticky. Second goes to Swift, finally. And they do have a huge advantage to work with in this last push.
As we see another situation where the gun is probably not going to be level 3 as they push in. Also, just getting that heavy up, he might not be buffed by the time Swift chooses to push in, and they're not quite going as fast as I'd like them to. That gun could be level 3 at this point. I'm not sure what's delaying them for so long, but they're only getting in now as that gun does go up another level and the heavy is going to be buffed. Uber in through lower this time, does take down the gun relatively quickly, and Yam's also taking a bunch of damage. Petty also getting found in the back foot as red team now takes the left side. Now they just need to play very slowly, chip away at this heavy as they are doing. He's around half health, doesn't quite get an arrow quite yet, and he does end up dying. Sticking the point is the blue demo, but Stelpo is just eating up the other team. Gets a 3K on last.
Alright, so let's do a quick TF2 recipe, a 30-second recipe before this mid finishes. The key to winning a last push, or to holding a last push, is an engineer and a heavy. The key to deflating that is kill the gun and then focus the heavy. And Swift finally did that right compared to Ascent's previous attempts. So that's how you do it.
Yep, and we do see aggression from everyone on Ascent pretty much. Going in top left, does take down high five. Is Patty also being behind in this position? This position is so good. He's doing so much damage. Ow, actually does get taken down. But Badonsky taking down the demo and the medic. Just perfect aggression from him. Going across the point, perfect timing, and we do see a full advantage here from Nursey. And they can pretty much do whatever they want at this point. They have a round. I'm sure the round timer is in both teams' heads, as there's only about 8 or so minutes left. But we do see a gun coming up already from high five. Hopefully this time, it was only level 1 last time, but he is almost on level 2 at this point. So we do see once again the same setup. Actually, this time we have 3 off classes on the side of Swift. We have a sniper, an engineer, and a heavy. So Delpo and Marmaduke pretty much the only ones on normal classes. We'll see if this works out for them or if they get pushed into spawn. That's pretty much the goal of this lower Uber, is they want to do this, I think, for the 4th time in a row. Actually, nope, they're going to rotate top right. This might catch them out because they have gone lower the entire previous attempts, but we do see a right push coming in as the Uber does get popped off. The gun has not been quite spotted yet. Badonsky does take it down, and this is looking like clockwork for Ascent. This is looking like they've done this every day of their life. Points get pressured, Heavy and Engie get taken down, but Swift, high five getting 2 frags, Delpo getting a frag, and high five getting another. Oh my goodness.
Nursey! Oh, couldn't quite do it. High five gonna be staying alive and lower. Nursey couldn't quite get the double saw off. So now with a couple respawns in favor of this mid, they're actually gonna get a disastrous spawn wave because they didn't quite finish respawning before it got capped, so they got another 8 seconds added onto it. So Nursey's not even going to be respawned until just now. Going up with Sandblast on Sniper. Slemnish will be taken down by Badonsky's trap there. But Ascent are at a huge disadvantage, and it's looking really good. But this trap is very interesting. Oh, okay, good. They noticed it.
Yep, we do see a pretty big advantage here from 404. I don't think that Nursey hasn't been caught out by an Uber yet, so I don't think she's going to get caught out by this one. As we see aggression here finally coming in from Marmaduke, they do pop. I'm not sure they're going to get a single kill with this. I think everyone's probably going to get out. Yep, Ascent perfectly kites that Uber. In fact, Patty doesn't even want to leave lobby. Patty just wants the sniper to get as much room as possible, as he does take off that first shot. I believe he does headshot Garbuglio down to 14 health. And now the Uber almost coming in from Nursia. I'm sure that Patty is already calling, yeah, to play close in lobby, and they probably want to take this Uber as soon as possible. Try and catch Ascent out, or a SVIFT out. For playing this lower position, pretty able to get out here, but Yomps going through cheese, might try and wrap behind. He's taking a 1v1 now with high 5. As the combo does start going in, getting a couple kills from Ascent side, getting out on bats, and SVIFT not really in a position to contest anything. Marmaduke dying, no one else really in a position as Patty does go down, but the point is now finally being capped by Ascent.
Ascent now with not quite enough advantage to work with. They might be aware of 404's Uber rising. So Ascent are getting position here close and saw, but I don't think they're going to be pushing, particularly because they don't have the numbers, but also because they probably expect 404 to have the Uber running.
Yep, and here's that change I said we would probably see from Patty. So before, when it was even Ubers and they had a pick, they would take an exchange, they would play aggressive in lobby. Now when the time is starting to tick down and you have this kind of advantage, you start to think about these things a bit more and think if these Uber exchanges are really worth it. If they go wrong, you don't know what could happen, especially when you're holding your second. So he opts not to take that very slight advantage in, and I agree with him in that call. You know, usually in the beginning of the game, it's better to set the tone with those aggressive plays, but now you kind of have to play a bit more methodically.
Yeah, high 5 added to the mix is going to be interesting. Almost gets the shot on Badonsky, who was under 150 HP inside that cheese area. He's going to be peeking very dangerously, recklessly even, in the face of high 5, who's fully charged now and saw, and it's spooked all of a sudden. This is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of freedom to get someone in, but instead high 5's going to get taken down by a simple poke and prod from the Ascent crew.
And perfect coordination there by Sandblast and Patty. Patty actually jumps, doesn't show himself into lobby until the very last second when he hits 2 fat rockets onto that sniper, and they do take the super exchange in through lower like they have been the entire game, and Sandblast also once again getting out, but Patty does get caught out in the Uber. That's so unfortunate, as Showstopper also in kitchen. Half health. He needs to stay alive right here if Ascent wants any chance of holding this point. He's kind of still behind. He's starting to flank lower as Ascent does get another kill. This is actually a really important position for the show, as he's behind. This demo man does get 1 rocket, 2 rocket, takes him down. Oh my goodness, SVIFT getting out lower, barely.
Yeah, SVIFT is now sitting in their middle. No Devilman to speak of. Delpo did die during that exchange, so Ascent are looking to get in through Saw here with their small, brief number advantage here. But they're seeing a little bit of spam, and they're kind of not committing to it. They don't want to get too deep. So Badonsky's just going to try and get some traps up in the Saw room, and we're going to be seeing another reset.
Another reset, and so now the entire push, the entire sack, every single thing is on SVIFT right now, as they do send a sack in. Not going to do anything. I don't think Patty's even thinking about an exchange right now. I don't think SVIFT is thinking that they're gonna be sending another sack. It's a bit too late, but here's where Marmaduke really needs to call for his team to do something extremely aggressive. They need to take an exchange. They need to send a double sack. They need to do something. Actually, Ascent losing a player and being extremely aggressive into this lobby. They lose one, but the spawn is already up from SVIFT, so that can't really be counted as a counter sack. I'm pretty sure they're going to take their heels lower and try and get this dry push, as they are trying to push off this 1 number advantage. Marmaduke jumping in pretty aggressively into that scout. He's kind of getting, yeah, he's going to get taken out by Yomps there. That bomb was questionable. As they do start to get out lower, it looks like they've abandoned all hopes of dry pushing, as the aggression from Showstopper pretty much stops that.
I think their timing was really good from SVIFT, but losing Marmaduke Grills there obviously is one of the biggest stoppers to any to any of their pushes. As you do see Ascent now making their way in through the Saw room, they're going to be popping the Uber off and catching out. No, it's SVIFT catching out Badonsky. So Ascent is in a bad position here, as Garbuglio is causing a lot of havoc over here inside of the launch pad, is I guess the name of this little, you know, driveway area over there by the fence. And all these players of SVIFT are taking all this free ground now, taking down Yomps and Patty.
Oh my goodness, 4 players dying. And a 10-second respawns on each of them. This is going to be a potential golden cap situation, and a tie at the end of the match, as they do get time on point very quickly. Delpo, Badonsky getting forced off the point, and we do have a tie going into the final minutes of map 1. And You know, I said it in the beginning, and even though I thought it was going to change, Petty taking that super aggressive Uber into Saw does end up biting them in the butt, as they do lose a couple players while pushing, lose a couple players in the transition, feed about, I think it was 4 players down, as now Ascent goes into this middle, kind of biting themselves in the butt because they just lost what was potentially a free hold for a couple more minutes, and now once again SVIFT getting these early aggressive kills onto Badunski and Showstopper. Delpo getting taken down by I believe that was Patty, but now the aggression, oh, Medic getting out lower. Yamps is extremely hurt. We don't see any aggression coming in from anyone, but Garbuglio does take down that player behind. Both soldiers jumping the Medic on second. This is extremely important. Oh my god, Nursey gets taken down for the first time on a middle, and it's on the very last last round potentially for this map. That's extremely important. I don't think Nursey's been caught out a single time like that, and finally she does get taken down. So SVIFT have every opportunity to set the tone for the rest of the match right now. If they can take this round, they're saying that they can compete with potentially, you know, the favorites to win this match. And going into map 2, you have to be thinking that the mentality of Ascent might be a bit more scared than they anticipated.
Patty now looking into the lobby, trying to get eyes on any players. Garbuglio's got that cheeky little angle through the little barrel shelf going on in lobby. Sludnish now clearing the way from lower. There are no stickies there, so they can take a little bit of ground here. They're going to pop it off right away. Sludnish is looking for some targets. He spots out the sentry and the heavy for his team, but nobody's making a decision. Dumpo goes for the sentry gun alone, and then gets taken down as soon as he gets flashed off the Uber. A lot of damage coming out on the left side of the spawn. Sludnish trying to get as much as he can, but only grabs Showstopper, and 404 is nowhere to be found. He is so far away from that push. It's looking like, I'm pretty sure there's no time to run it back-to-back, coast-to-coast. This is the end of the round. We've got maybe 40-50 seconds left.
No back cap potential here. They leave the soldier at last. They're on the side of Ascent. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be going into a golden cap situation. And you want to know what caused it? It's the same thing it's been causing every failed last push. As a fight kind of goes on in garbage time right now, Garbuglio gets another death for his stats, and Nursey gets another Uber pop. But yeah, there's not enough time here to run it back coast to coast. There's probably about 30 seconds left. As once again on this map, it's proven too difficult for either team really to find that sentry gun, locate the heavy, and actually Ascent kind of rolling this. 404 is gonna get his Uber though, already at 90%. They don't have the second point capped. It's looking like a bit of a desperation play here from Ascent, just trying to get as much time as possible. But yeah, once again, round's pretty much over at this point. The Uber has popped off from 404 as we do go into the golden cap.
The faded golden cap. It's very rarely seen at such high caliber level. It's been a long time since we had some really high quality TF2 of this caliber, and this is really exciting because now we're gonna be going to a golden cap. I do believe the golden cap rules were universalized, so it's no longer a 10-minute whoever owns mid or wins the round wins. It's now no time limit.
I believe it is no time limit. Yeah.
No, I
It's
was giving people a precursor to how it used to be, the olden days of win mid and then park the bus because you have nothing to lose if you own the mid. But now it's not like that at all. You just have to win the round in an indefinite amount of time.
Yep, and here's where the individual plays really start to shine, because that map those first 8 rounds being so close as they were, you got to understand that these teams are on the same level. Like they're thinking at the same pace. They're not getting caught out by pretty much anything. They're pretty much just leapfrogging Ubers, and they're having like individual players just get a couple kills here, get a couple kills there, and they're leading into a round. So with this, it really comes out who's the clutchest of both teams, who's able to get those kills in important situations. And as we avert our eyes from the game and now onto the stats, we do see kind of an increase in the frag difference from both SVIFT and Ascent. SVIFT now out-fragging Ascent by, I do believe, 11 frags in total, and out-damaging by, I believe, about 3,000. So even though it was as close as it was that first half in terms of frags, we do see SVIFT kind of taking a bit of a lead in terms of that. And once again, we also see the scouts on SVIFT both getting 38 kills, both not even getting 25 deaths. So they're really stepping up big time in the frag department. Sandblast and Yomps also getting 30 kills, not quite on the caliber that High Five and Slemnish are playing though. But Donsky still, I think, bottom damaging at the or bottom deathing at the half, and also bottom deathing at the end of the match. I kind of get caught up in my words there, but yep, still top damaging his team. Delpo still top damaging the server, 25 and 22. A lot of individual play coming in from the side of Badonsky as well, as we do remember that those couple kills on 2 last pushes now, he has gotten more than 2 kills. So we do see very, very experienced players doing very, very experienced things so far. So do you have the stats pulled up there, Ro?
Nope, I'm just listening to you run it down, and it's doing enough.
Yeah,
I got a good feeling. And well, now we don't have to worry about it because starting overtime is the line in the ESEA server. Match is live, and then we'll be getting underway here for our third half. You heard that right. Of this first map in our best of 3 for this match tonight.
I'm excited to see what Yomps can do here, because he's proven time and time again against every caliber of team that when it's time to step up, he can drop 40 kills in 30 minutes. So we'll see what he does on this middle. We'll see what the demos do as they do trade stickies once again. No high ground coming in from red team so far as that soldier does fail his jump. Both scouts trying to peek on high ground now as the bomb finally does come from Showstopper, taking a lot of damage. Badonsky takes down Slemnish very early, but the 2 return frags on the side of SVIFT take down Yomps and Badonsky as the blue team now finally getting re-aggressive with these 2 kills. It doesn't look like Sandblast wants to leave quite yet as he does kill Garbuglio and pushing back in. High Five once again trading frag after frag, 3v3 now. It's been back and forth the entire mid as the point is finally getting capped out now by red team, but Telpo doesn't want anything to do with that. He's pushing right back in. And wait, what? They just left a completely even fight. Ascent is like, they have Delpo kind of scared of that guy, I guess. I'm not sure.
No, they knew Marmaduke Girls was behind, so they wanted to get themselves out, and Marmaduke Girls was waiting for that pack. Couldn't find the best opportunity because he was waiting for that pack. So Ascent got out just in time, thanks to him being so weak. So now they're holding on second, even numbers, even overs. This is where things can get a little, I want to call it tense. This is, I think, the tensest moment. And we do see Garbuglio tries to make his way through the window and might even be able to get out alive. He does sneak his way through the kitchen, taking so much damage. Does survive.
Yep, this is exactly what I was talking about. It's happened the entire game. Even Ubers, one team holding mid, one team holding second. It's happened almost for like 45 minutes of the match so far. So now Garbuglio can really prove like what he's worth to this team. He can change the entire course of the match with 1 bomb. And we do see him finally getting buffed up now, walking kind of into Saw. We'll see what he chooses to do, but once again, Patty never lets anyone into any place without taking some damage, but does get a nice bomb onto Nursey. Nursey kind of low, about half health, does not pop that Uber as Sandblast hitting a couple meat shots, stifles the aggression. I don't think we're going to see a counter-sack quite yet. Yomps extremely aggressive in this kitchen area, does get High Five down about half health, but might get taken down as himself as he is very weak, but Sandblast getting another frag as the Ubers do get popped out on mid. Slemnish getting a pack as he is 1 health, but Ascent is probably going to take this point, probably going to get a couple kills too. Actually, never mind, everyone gets out, but a leapfrog situation. Or Ascent, in Ascent's favor, I mean, this time.
It's actually not a leapfrog. Things are even.
Oh yeah, things are even, so we do see an exchange, my mistake, as we do see actually Ascent kind of willing to push their momentum as Yomps starting to work that lower area. Marmaduke wants nothing to do with it though, as the aggression onto point kind of gets shut down a little bit by the soldier bombs there by Marmaduke, demo aggression there by Delpo. So we do see another situation where they want to push through lower and catwalk. The health probably on the side of SVIFT at this point is Garbuglio does kill Patty. The soldiers on the crate are not healthy at all. Both soldiers do go down for Showstopper, or for the side of SVIFT, or I mean for the side of Ascent, as getting this cap could prove to deny the forward spawns to Show and Patty. Yep, it looks like it's going to be a 5v4 fight, but once again, Ascent is not willing to give this point up in the slightest, as we do see both scouts just forcing the Uber out from Nursey. I mean, from 404, I'm sure frags are about to be traded back and forth as the blue demo is launched up into the air, hits a pipe, but is levitated for a good 3 seconds.
Delpo was flying for so long there. Like, every time he went down, he went back up. Like, he was constantly oscillating in the air. That was incredibly delightful to watch.
He looked like he had the
So,
pyro jetpack on.
yes, that's exactly it. Ascent now, though, keeping so much aggression, finally going to take down Depot, who can't get out of the forward spawn. So Showstopper's going to initiate into the face of all these players from Swift. Nice sticky from Badonsky to take down Slemnish, the Scout, and Garbugio will not be able to get out alive, but the Scout will. So now it's just 3 players on last. Nursey moments away
And
from
look
the
at the
Uber.
Ubers here.
Yes.
20 ad from here. It's gonna take a miracle here with no off classes from Swift to take this point, as the Uber does get popped off. Only 85%. There's no chance they really get. Oh, they do get a frag almost onto Yomps. Yomps actually gets a return one in general, but the Uber does get popped. No, they pop the Uber on top of the point instead of on the point, and that is what causes them to lose control of the point. And I believe it was one of the scouts standing on it who just pretty much saw that Uber and said, you're not going to touch me if I'm down here and you're up there. And pretty much kept the point. So we do have the first map on the side of Ascent in quite possibly the closest manner you can get it. Golden Cap, an extremely close Uber charge to getting to the point, and just barely slipping away to the more experienced and favorite Ascent on map 1.
That was very intense all the way through. But we do see now Ascent, against all odds, and against some shaky moments, do manage to compose themselves long enough to solidify their victory in Snakewater. So our next map, we're going to be doing a quick rundown of what's going to be happening, because us casters need to take a quick break, but we're just going to run it down real quick. Just a few things. Next up is Product, that is Pro Viaduct, if I'm not mistaken, for the second map. So we'll be seeing some high caliber TF2 on probably one of the best maps to cast. It's such a joy to watch. All the frags, all the strats, all the tactics. That'll be coming up in just a few minutes, as soon as players get all settled into their new server. Not much to talk about in stats, so I think the last thing we really need to cover Da-na-na-dun-dun. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Product. That was my Sports Center impression. I don't know if it worked out, but anyway, here we
good.
are. We're in our next match. It's Product. This is our second map in our best of 3. The third gonna potentially be Sunshine, which is a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a controversial map, but let's talk about Product, not Sunshine. This is Pro Viaduct, a notorious map for being the only interesting thing in the map pool of TF2 because it's not 5CP.
Yep, the only non-5CP map in the map pool, which is Product, and we do see 2 extremely good demo man in this match, so we're going to be in for a real treat, as Delpo probably has not missed a pipe since 2003, and I don't think Badonsky has missed a sticky since around then as well, so yeah, we're going to be seeing probably some really high damage stats from the scouts and the demos from both teams, probably some really great and creative bombs from the soldiers as well, and I'm excited to see what both teams can do here, considering that that last match was so close.
Yeah, it was genuinely a nail biter. It didn't feel like it was so close because one team took a lead early on, and then another team took a lead. It was going back and forth, leapfrogging in round leads, and then it culminated in that great final round, that golden cap. So now we're gonna be seeing another situation where there is no such thing as a golden cap. However, there is such a thing as a third half, and it's very rare. It's a 3-0 into a reverse 3-0 into the technical golden cap, which will be the third half with a single round, with 3 minutes on both sides, whoever can run down that clock first.
To be honest, I actually hope to see that. I want to see as much of this map as I can.
Oh, for
both
sure.
these teams play at such a high level that this TF2 is just pretty much like an art form to watch on this map, at least. So as much as we can get, I can take. I'll cast 3 golden caps in a row. It doesn't matter to me. But as we do see 12 people in the server now, as both teams probably discussing their strategy a little bit before they ready up. I know Sandblast definitely likes to be healed a lot on this map. I remember playing with him on Feint, and this map was definitely one of his favorites to take Ubers in. And I'm sure that Yamps also probably wants to get a good chunk of the heals here, as he can pretty much dominate this map with his technical skill. And Ascent also, or I mean SVIFT also has some players that probably have some of the best fragging potential in Invite. So yeah, this map is going to be a real treat.
Especially with these snipers that are kind of tipping their hand in the pregame. Not Delpo the Spy, but rather High Five, who we didn't get to see too many snipes from, but Slemnish and Yomps. A lot of potential there from them. Either of them. Like, there's so many players in the server right now that have that sniping potential, and players are readying up, picking their side. Tambo, you're gonna take the first mid?
I'll do it if I can. I'm excited to see these rollouts here. If anyone wants to get a bit aggressive early, as there's pretty much 2 options for the rollout. There's a faster rollout you can do that'll get you with less health, but Delpo and Badonsky usually try to do the more cookie cutter style and just never miss. So we'll see what happens on this first middle. The match now is live as Delpo and Badonsky are rolling out. As we do see Delpo rolling out on the right side. Badonsky rolling out on the left side for him, and both demos taking stickies early, and a really early bomb from Showstopper. He doesn't end up dying for it, but the right side position is being taken forward, already being taken down. Yamps getting 2 kills, Sandblast getting 2 kills as well, so Ascent pretty much eats the entire blue team instantly. That was a really, really fast mid.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising. Garbuglio was in a position there potentially to get into the face of Nursey, but instead he was just kind of sitting near the point, throwing some spam shots, and as a result, Nursey didn't even really see any congestion. So with that full wipe, we're going to be seeing Ascent taking that notorious forward hold, but the difference is they don't have patties, so this is actually Swift's best opportunity to push forward because they have that one-man advantage very briefly to push their way out, and they are going to at least take the ground. Try and get a force out here from Nursey, who's going to be popping off to Sandblast, who's chasing down into the main hallway. Does take down Marmaduke Grills, or excuse me, Slemnish, and is going to be backing out with the rest of the team. They're going to be sneaking their way out, but with Badonsky down, Cliffside is looking all but free for them.
Yep, And now an Uber charge here coming in from SVIFT along with those fast spawns. Badonsi's not really going to be able to deny them on Cliff as well as they would be able to with him being alive, so Slemnish is apt to just push into this right side here, taking control of the rock, taking control of the point as the scouts now coming in. Yamps is getting super aggressive onto high 5. Don't think he's going to be able to take anything down. 404 down. Oh, actually gets killed by Sandblast with the Garbuglio sniper also coming out. The red continues to hold this point.
Right now, Ascent, they managed to slow things down long enough, and they got that crucial 4-4 pick, but he's back on the respawn thanks to that wonderful Koth timer. But they still have a huge Uber disadvantage, so they're going to have to be playing around Garbuglio, the sniper, who does have that Machina. So a fully charged shot will penetrate players and kill just about anything that isn't buffed, or at least do a lot of damage.
We saw Garbuglio, I believe, on this map versus Freotech, like hit 8 shots in a row or something, so we can see how that works out, but the Uber is popped from red team. Ascent trying to go as deep as they can, not really killing anything. Even the sniper stays alive with around 50 health, so they're going to try and back up to the point. Maybe Marmaduke gets picked out on the right side. Yep, he does, and trading frags is, both 2 players going down from Ascent here.
Swift now taking the ground with that big pick on Showstopper here. No soldiers to speak of, so Ascent are going to be giving up as much as, or backing out as quickly as they can. The cap almost went through, so instead now they're going to be giving it up. And once again, Garbuglio still in a good position here to snipe, which is going to make it all the harder for Ascent, who have an Uber disadvantage and are going to be taking as much ground as possible now in this follow-up push.
The point is quite capped though, so we could see a potential quick cap before the Uber comes in. I don't think SVIFT really wants to let them on the point. As the Uber, yep, the point is already capped by Yamps. The Uber is not even forced out quite yet, and they already gave up the point as frags are being traded by Ascent, already losing 4. That's actually such a great passive play there by 4-4, not even needing to pop his Uber, just waiting for the sacks to come in. But it wasn't even a 5-man because Nursey doesn't have anyone to build within spawn, so that was a team fight that SVIFT just won pretty much basically off of just pure bait and passiveness. I like that a lot from 404.
Yeah, it actually really works out for Ascent too, because they get as much potential as possible to force 404. And Swift is so passive trying to defend 404 that Nursey can freely walk away after the last buffs have been given out. So now we're going to be seeing a counter pop with the Uber getting into the face of 404, who's going to be popping off as well. The counter sack is coming in from Marmaduke Grills, who's going to be trading his life with Sandblast. And Showstopper's in a very good position here to come back in. But Patty, jumps in a little too quick and doesn't have the follow-up of Showstopper, who's only just now getting into the fray, going to get juggled up and pistoled down by the scouts. So Ascent couldn't quite coordinate a bomb there. Could have done a lot more damage if Patty and Showstopper were in tune there.
Yeah, and it's interesting, the dynamics on this map change quite a bit from 5CP. When you have the point, trading is actually extremely disadvantageous, so we're probably going to see people try and keep themselves alive for as long as they can, as this Uber is about to get popped maybe from Ascent. Oh, they actually don't even have it, as they just tried to dry push into that sniper. Garbuglio finally gets bombed.
Patty did a very cute little bomb there. He kind of like launched himself downwards from the bridge above the point. And that's the last frag, the last desperate attempt, and it's just a little bit of a pistol attempt. Nursey almost has the Uber, does force it off at the last possible moment. Tried to save it. Nursey was gonna drop there, and I think that's a good, okay decision. I mean, I feel like they can win this if they kept that Uber, but instead they'd be forcing off Uber from 4-4. Patty gets behind on the cliffside. A little bit of cap time there. Sandblast's going to be getting on top of the point. Big bomb from Podolsky. Trying to do some work here. Can't quite do it. And the cap is coming in. It's doing so much work. Ascent somehow have managed to get the cap here in overtime, and they're getting the frags too.
Yeah, I guess Garbuglio finally gets a shot ring out onto someone's head as, Slemnish does win the 1v1 against Yamps, and that medic is probably about to be taken out by Garbuglio. So we do see the first round going in favor of SVIFT, and we have a match on our hands as the scouts from SVIFT, especially Slemnish, just getting so many frags, so many crucial frags, and the soldiers, I guess, distracting enough for the scouts to do the work that they needed to do as SVIFT try and come in on this mid on the left side. Delpo taking this left position. See what they can do.
They're coming quickly behind, but it's not going to be doing much because the rest of Ascent have already gotten a lot of ground here. The frags are going back and forth. Nursey actually goes out of position on top of the connector. Gets taken down by High Five, who's now getting in position behind his players and getting ready for any sacks. Here comes the bomb from Patty. He gets sniped before he can even get that second rocket in midair, and that's a full wipe. There were respawns. That wasn't an ace. That was Delpo died, Marmaduke died, but they respawned in time. So Ascent losing the first round and then losing the follow-up mid. What are they gonna do to correct their mistakes here?
They're going to be pushing to an Uber if they're pushing anything at this point. I think a sack is potentially in order, even though Nursey is committed outside of spawn. So we do see now Sandblast starting to build, so the sack is probably going to come in, the 4-man, onto... Oh my goodness, the Uber does get forced there by Patty. Incredible bomb around the side of the house. They even get a frag here, so once again, trading is extremely important. Yamps does end up kill binding, I believe. So, yep, he does trade the frag. They do get the force. That's exactly what they wanted. Nursey now has a 50 ad that she can use pretty much however she wants.
Well, however he wants is kind of a legalistic way to say it, because this is a forward hold from it's a 5-man forward hold at the moment, but it's still enough to slow things down. Everybody opting to go through main, trying to clear out any stickies, but Delpo, typically the demo man sits in front of Cliff. That's where all the stickies are, and Marmaduke Girl's too far forward, gonna get taken down here. So now they have even less of a number advantage coming into this with an Uber to Zad, and there's the snipe from Garbuglio.
Yeah, oh, the Uber does actually get popped out by Nursey. Was afraid of that headshot potential coming in from Garbuglio. They do end up losing 2 as well, so this Uber is not going to be successful. Slemnish already pushing back up this cliffside. They do get the cap, but that just means their spawns are going to come in there slower at this point, so we do see Nursey backing up all the way as SVIFT does have the Uber in about 5 seconds. Nursey might try to send another wave of sacks. If I was her, that's what I would do, because taking a team fight right now is pretty questionable, considering the other team has Uber.
Yeah, you want to get to the force and then get your medic out. That's the key here. And trying to open the door is going to be Yams taking a little bit of ground here for the soldier to come in. Patty did distract a lot there. Didn't manage to get the force, and Showstopper, who also came from behind, is able to get the frag onto the sniper and still be behind. So this is actually a great position for Ascent to come back in. They even pick off Marmaduke Girls, who was a little bit overextended here. And now they will finally dispatch Slemnish to take care of Showstopper. He goes down, but now Ascent has gotten all the ground they need, and now they have a sizable Uber advantage. So that was a very well executed play by the soldiers of Ascent.
As we do see SVIFT back up a little here, gonna try and take this cliffside probably. They do know that red team has Uber now, so sacks might come in sooner rather than later, as Slemnish actually taking a lot of damage in the backfield. Gonna be backing up as the scouts... Oh, the Uber does actually get forced here, so now we see 404 getting comfortably out, no chance of him dying. They do lose a frag, but frags when you don't have the point aren't nearly as bad, so Garbuglio will be up within 5 seconds, in time for the Uber to come out for SVIFT.
Big Uber at it is, so let's see how they're going to be working their way through. They're trying to clear out main once again. Demo Bodonsky holding down the cliffside with a carpet of stickies. The Uber does get forced off by Slemnish, who's coming in, trying to get some good damage onto Patty, who's just surfing around every nook and cranny, just trying to get away. And he's done so much work here to distract that Nursey is managing to keep the team fight healthy right here inside of the staircase. But Garbuglio connects a nice rocket onto Yamps, and that's a huge fragging class on the side of Ascent. So with SVIFT having a numbers advantage and a Yamps advantage, they're going to be taking their point now.
Yep, and Ascent is pretty... oh, actually, they try to take this Uber. I'm actually kind of questioning whether or not that was useful or not, because them being down 3 and this Uber getting taken in as a solo might actually prove to be... Oh, a huge air shot coming in from Garbuglio. Almost actually gets the medic, and the follow-up bomb from Marmaduke. Great play from SVIFT there to take down the medic, because they just want to get healed here and back out, as the soldiers are going to be maybe feeding into them, as both scouts... Actually, a scout flanking right now onto the medic of 404. Slemnish getting a kill, but 404 actually down about half health. Ascent has such little health, can't quite get the kill on 404. Very close, though. I like the effort.
Poor Patty killed himself. Feels bad, man. And shot the floor and killed himself. So, with that death, Ascent are now in a really tough position once again, where they're doing a really good job of getting all 5 members forward with heals as far as possible, and Nursey getting out. But they're not quite getting the better wraparound with this Uber advantage. So let's see how they can do it this time.
Sniper's doing work here for Sandblast, or for Garbuglio, taking down 2 kills. Ascent looks like they lost their scouts pretty much instantly into that fight, so they really didn't have much chance at all to force 404. This sniper for Garbuglio is actually probably going to be proving more of a challenge than I believe Ascent probably initially thought. So now they need to push without Uber. They pop out the Uber for Marmaduke Grills as he gets a couple fat rockets, gets a kill, and they take the second round. So the third mid is going to be extremely important, as since both teams going back and forth, I'll let you take this mid fight as one of the most important mid fights on any map. So take it away.
Yeah, with Swift, with a dominating 2-0, we do see Delpo taking a forward hold immediately in the face of Main, and Garbuglio jumps so high up. He was able to get behind it. Now he's jumping right back into the face of Nursey. Manages to pick up on the Yomps as well. Juggles Nursey. One last rocket's all he's going to take, but misses it. Marmaduke Girls will get that kill. And the follow-up sack comes into the fray. Podolsky was able to pick up high five, but not 4-4. And 4-4 will get out with his life, and they're going to get the point. This is looking disastrous. Ascent needs to mount an incredible comeback in the second half if they lose this round. And it's going to be really tough for them to push back at this point.
Yep, I've noticed a trend so far of SVIFT winning the mids and then being completely okay with using that time advantage that they get from the middle and just trading Ubers back and forth. You know, after you have that initial time, any Uber exchange that you get where your medic gets out is beneficial to you, just mathematically. So we do see SVIFT now completely willing to take this Uber. They don't want to give up any room on the point at all. Marmaduke playing that top right position. Delpo, actually they're kind of giving up the point a little bit now, but I'm sure they're not going to let them cap it, as Slemnish does come on that left side, doing a lot of damage to Podolsky.
Nipple hairs from being capped was Ascent almost getting that, but they backed out just because of the well-timed Uber from Swift. Yomps doing a very good job of staying alive once again. Does get taken down though, thanks to Garbuglio, the sniper, who's lining up more shots. He's watching the staircase, he's watching the cliff, back and forth, back and forth. Where's it coming? No one knows. Ascent do have a lot of cap time, so they can get really deep and potentially get this cap off.
Yep, the aggression here from the left side on Ascent. Podolsky actually leading this pretty aggressively, as that Soldier Bomb isn't going to do anything. Marmaduke has done that a couple times now where he's gotten caught out, trying to get onto the medic a bit too early on. And actually Garbuglio getting pressured out too. They might lose a couple of players, so this is not what SVIFT wants at all. What they want to do is force the Uber onto the point and then leapfrog back and forth when they do have that time advantage from capping middle. But this time they actually don't end up forcing. So this is an interesting situation here. Even though they have that minute and a half advantage, this is what SVIFT does to maybe combat this forward hold.
Yeah, and this time we have the proper forward hold. This is with all 6 players, but they're still going to be bolting their way through main. Swift are pushing forward. Slemnish taking the brunt of the Uber. Meanwhile, Marty Girls, who was caught out in Cliff, is going to get taken out by Showstopper. So now Swift forces the Uber on both sides, so it's going to be a little bit harder for Ascent to hold it if they can get some pressure on the medic, but that doesn't make it easier to push through the choke point itself.
Yeah, this forward hold is it's famous for a lot of reasons, and one of them is the fact that it's so damn hard to break. So we do see the Pyro come out in attempts to maybe stifle some of the projectiles, but a frag is being traded now. 2 frags now, and you know those trades are actually in the favor of SVIFT, especially if you have one more than the other person. So Nursey not having her Uber quite yet, only at 75%. I guarantee you SVIFT is thinking about getting aggressive here as they do start to lose their lead in the next 30 seconds or so. So looks like they're taking this point.
And they will get the point. Nursey almost taking a couple spam pipes from across the way. Yup! Getting the sword kill on the poor Garbuglio, and that's going to set the pace for this push. But 4-4 does get the Uber in time. It's going to be popping it defensively, getting into the face of all these players. There's a lot of flashing going back and forth. Patty's going to open to the China. He's going to be trying to get away from this, but he's going to get taken out by Slemnish. 4-4 is taking so much damage. Nice damage on the Delpo. Is going to be able to clean that up. So with no Delpo, it's going to be very hard for them to contest this point at all. And Swift knows that. They're going to be playing very defensively on their cliff. They don't want to give any more room to let any room for a forward hold potentially from Swift or from Ascent. And Ascent is just going to be holding on to their point here. Even Ubers on both sides, so we're just going to be seeing potentially our first dry push of the evening.
Yeah, and as both teams don't even have an Uber for the first time, yeah, as you said, in a push, we do see the scouts from SVIFT getting extremely aggressive. That bomb from Showstopper could prove, yep, it doesn't look like it was going to work out, so he does end up going down as now Sandblast returns the frag onto Hot 5, and Garbuglio returns the frag right back onto Yomp. So, oh my goodness, Slemnish and Garbuglio just trading frags, but now Patty taking the solo Uber with that shotgun on Viaduct. Actually, actually not gonna stifle the push quite yet, but he's trying his darndest, I promise you that.
Okay, a little bit of a loop around there, trying to pull some players around, draw their attention. Swift doing a very good job of winning that push, getting the better of the points, but now Ascent has nothing to lose with aggressiveness. If they lose a player, they'll be back in less than 10 seconds. We're going to be seeing now the first sack is going to be Patty, who tried to get deep, was able to trade with
Marmaduke. Marmaduke getting those 2 kills onto that on bombing, but actually Slemnish kind of too far ahead of his team there. Yam's still having that full buff, so now SVIFT having those long spawns since they have the point is going to allow Ascent's team, or the team of Ascent, to probably just take this point for free, but Garbuglio wants nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that at all, as he's ringing shots out, doing some body shots, getting good damage onto both players. Yamps goes down, and now they're getting frags on the side of SVIFT with only 10 seconds left. The Uber gets popped. 99% on 4-4, just barely gets the Uber.
That was so good from Showstopper to get onto the medic, but he couldn't hit that air shot in time or get the splash damage as soon as it landed. 4-4 got the Uber in time. Very good defensive pop. It's going to be doing a lot of work here because now it's up to... Oh! Poor Showstopper tried to jump in, got sniped by Garbuglio, and it's all up to Sandblast and the scout Yamps. Yamps can do it, I believe in him, but Slemnish has a full health, and the pistol's all it's going to take. The decap goes much faster during overtime, so now 3-0. Showstopper going to be desperately jumping forward, but not going to be getting there in time. And that's a 3-0 from SVIFT. Incredible.
Yeah, Slemnish is looking like he's an unstoppable force, and the wall of Ascent definitely can be moved. So Slemnish with 3 dominations at the half, 62 points. Let's check a look.
Let me talk about the
stats.
You can let me try and emulate my best Tambo. Let me give you a rundown of the stats. Let me paint you the picture. You just described Slemnish with the in-game score system. Let me show you how it comes down to an ESEA system. He has 412 DPM.
I'm terrified, and I'm not even in the server.
Frags, 5 deaths, 19 assists. He is topping the charts in literally every stat. Incredible force. Following closely behind him is Delpo at 370 DPM, breaking that 6,000 mark. The only players to do so. And as a result, the only person to break 300 DPM on the opposing team Ascent is Badonsky, who only has 3 frags and 11 deaths. Those are the key stats right there, right? Like, we have Slemnish doing amazing work, Demoman type stats, with Demoman damage with Scout KD. Like, that's your prime real estate for how you want your scouts to be in. And Slemnish is definitely stepping up. Gonna give a quick rundown of the other stats here. Next in frags is Yamps at 18 frags, followed by Garbuglio at 17, and then Marmaduke Girls and Delpo at 16, Sandblast at 13. Everyone else in the single digit range on the side of Ascent. So Ascent not having the game of their career. They have nearly half the total frags of SVIFT. They have 88 frags to Ascent's 48. Was that a good picture?
Yeah, that was you painted it better than Leonardo could have. So, so yeah, I do have the stats up. Oh yeah, of course. But I do have the stats up here, and there's only one name I'm looking at. Slemnish is just, I don't know. This is said to be a scout map, but apparently this is Slemnish's map, because these scouts, I promise you, having played with them and against them, are extremely good. And for Slemnish to just be outclassing all of them, and the exclamation point of those stats are just the 2v1 that he just won on that last round. He literally saw 2 scouts, said, okay, these are like top level invite scouts. I'm just gonna take a 2v1, and then he's like, okay, I'm Slemnish, so I'm just going to win it. And that's exactly what he did. And then he did the taunt for the extra measure. But yeah, when you're doing 400 DPM, you can taunt whenever you want, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, within moderation. You can taunt after doing a very hyped, very round-saving moment. I wouldn't taunt in the face of a medic after you do 149 damage. I think that's the one time you can not taunt. Would you agree?
Perhaps, you know, to be honest, Slemnish is carrying his team so hard, I'm pretty sure he could do that and then somehow still kill him, so I'm not sure.
Kill him through the taunt. Get the taunt kill with the atomizer. I don't think it's been unbanned yet, but that's the only one that Scout has for taunt kills anyway, so. Either way. Yeah, that's, okay. There, everyone's rated up. There we go. Didn't see the starting second half text, but the one being resonated in the chat, in the voice comms. So take us away, Tambo. Can Ascent do a 3-0 run back?
I don't know. My eyes are on Slemnish for this middle. I just want to see how he's doing it. As he does take control of this midpoint, extremely aggressive onto the point, instantly going there as soon as he pretty much Oh, got there, getting healed up now as he's pushing across the point once more. High Five getting that early kill, and now Garbuglio with a double kill. Oh, but Yamps in the backfield actually going to take down the medic as it is a full wipe for Ascent, but no Ubers are going to be in the favor of 404 now that he is dead. So looks like we're going to have a pretty even fight. We might see mid fight number 2 soon enough as both medics spawn pretty much at the same time. So yep, pretty same mid fight as we've seen so far. Both scouts from SVIFT staying alive, I do believe, as the mid fight number 2 goes on now.
Seeing them taking control. Garbuglio on that defensive sniper, be popping off shots for free. Yam's getting in the face of some players, pulling them back as well. It's going to open the door for the rest of the players to come in, but Hattie goes down, and that reduces their fragging power because only Showstopper in the back line is able to do any work here. He's getting pistoled down. Taken down by Slemnish there. Sandblast somehow got the cap there. Swift is going to be quickly recapping it.
The cap doesn't really mean much for Ascent. It pretty much just elongates their spawns. Now they're shortened because SVIFT recapped the point. But the point cap there is alright. You know, you get about 12 seconds or so, so everything counts. But now SVIFT is in a position to take this Uber exchange and get as much time as they need. Because an Uber exchange is in the benefit of the team with the point, obviously. So SVIFT actually kind of milking more time than they probably should here. 2 minutes left in Ascent, kind of standing still. I'm not sure what they're doing. They both have Uber. They know what they need to do. They need to take this exchange as finally Slemnish is looking like he's the one who wants to take it anyway. He's feeling on top of the world as he does make them flash once. Solo Uber here from Red Team as they do start to get out, but High Five taking down Showstopper. I think that was in the backfield. And it looks like it's going to go for SVIFT once again.
Yeah, good frag to the start of this exchange. One quick sack attempt. Trying to catch these players trying to escape. Yamps very desperate to get a quick no-scope to even slowly disregard or put away the players that are rushing. Thankfully, though, no one's going to be pushing too far. Yamps still on that sniper, though. That's the big factor here. That's the first time we're seeing sniper versus sniper action here on Product, but nothing's happening. Finally, even though Garbuglio gets the frag, he finally gets taken down by Yamps. So now it's going to open the door for their sniper play.
Yep, 3v4 situation here, favoring the side of Ascent, this team that doesn't have the points, so they're probably going to get the cap here. They got all their spawns in time, so the Ubers are going to even out, I'm pretty sure. I don't think Nursey's going to want to push in, so 404 is going to get his Uber relatively soon. They have about a minute and a half lead, almost 2-minute lead, so SVIFT right now is doing exactly what they want to do. They want to keep taking these exchanges. They want to keep going in with these Ubers, and they're just going to do that right off of Cliff this time as well. Marmaduke goes in really aggressively, making so much room for his team, not even dying, and now pushing up on the left side is SVIFT as they do get another kill.
Ubers are getting forced off from both players on this middle point. Nursey surfing a sticky to get away, but Swift is once again quickly recapping it, not letting anything happen. Ascent cannot find a foothold in this match, but we do see a nice little play here from Yamps, trying to get a cheeky angle using the crates there. Couldn't get the sightline though, and Garbuglio still on that sniper is going to be charging up shots and catching out all these players, and there's no pressure whatsoever from him, though. Nice little shot there from Yamps, going to slow things down. Delpo gets taken down though by Badonsky, and that's going to open the door for them.
Yep, 3v4 situation this time favoring SVIFT as oh, in the backfield is the scout, might actually get the kill. Actually, the medic from SVIFT getting that kill doesn't even need a scout as once again SVIFT is ticking down this clock as Ubers are even. Once again, this has exactly been their game plan the entire time. Trade this Uber on the point, take these team fights as Badonsky does eat a headshot, so he's going to need to get tanked. Actually eats 2 headshots instantly. Now the heals are not getting to the scouts of Ascent. Garbuglio just raining havoc, but Sandblast with that clutch 2k might actually live still from... Oh, Yamps getting that kill as well. As we do see Ascent cap off the point, that's going to elongate their spawns. Yamps 2k, and the Uber does get popped off on High Five.
High Five trying to take this Uber to get the frag. Does manage to pick up Yamps. It's a very crucial pick here, actually. I know that sounds kind of weird, but that is a very crucial frag here because now the rest of Swift can walk forward without worrying about that sideline. But the counter Uber comes off from Nursey here. Going to be doing a very good job of defensively holding this down. Marmaduke Girl's very low on health to be jumping around. Does manage to heal up with 4-4. No players have died from Swift during that force, so Ascent not making the best of that Uber. It's going to open up the door for Swift potentially to close out this match with only 1 cap, but they do lose Slumnish. So it's going to slow things down, but they are going to be taking the ground as best they can. Oh, Garbuglio down. That's surely that's not getting any more pressure.
They do lose 2 there. Actually, Patty switching to Scout here, as we do see Yamps probably opting, actually, if you're not missing like he is right now, there's no reason to switch off a Sniper. So, yep, Patty's taking up the role of Scout, as Yamps looks like he wants to take more of a Sniper-oriented role here, and I think that was a bit of over-eagerness from SVIFT. So they were down a player they wanted to push without an Uber. They just wanted to get the map over with, pretty much, in my opinion. So they might get punished for that. Who knows, as the Uber gets popped off extremely early. Nursey not even in any danger so far. Finally pops the Uber, but 404 RD running out actually might get taken out in the backfield. Slemnish gets a kill, so they might refight it here on the point.
A lot of pressure coming in from SVIFT to get onto this point here. A good frag here, and a follow bomb from Marty Grills is going to be putting some good damage. Can't quite seal the deal though. Badonski down is huge though, because now it's just Patty alive who's going to get taken down, and that's going to be the frag, and that's going to be the match. Or not the match.
Oh my goodness.
Whew. What a... Whew. Alright, so just a quick
run down the stats again. This is your job now. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. But just so you guys understand what's going on, there was a wonderful 5-4 with a golden cap in our first map. Close match, very exciting. And then SVIFT just completely dominates here. I mean, they did so well, and Ascent finally got a grasp of everything with running Yamps on Sniper. He was doing so much work there. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. So quick rundown of these stats. Let's see here. Gotta wait for it to refresh, unfortunately.
I can run down the first part of this.
Do it.
The first part of this, the biggest thing I see right now is the difference in the demo man right now. Even though that Slemnish does still have above that 400 DPM, it looks like SVIFT had a plan to shut down Badonski on this map, and they did exactly that. Going 5 and 15, even though he is top damaging, they're not letting him live, and they're not letting him frag. So Slemnish probably the main culprit for that, getting almost like 20 more kills than anyone else on the server almost. Probably just shutting down every explosive class from the side of Ascent, because none of them seem to have an overwhelming amount of kills, whereas Garbuglio having 25, Marmaduke having 20. No one on Ascent really in the explosive region matching that so far, and I think it's mostly due to Slemish taking those heals, taking that pocket scout role, and just pretty much eating the server alive. That's what I see. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you there. Slemnish was in form tonight on specifically, Viaduct. It's Scout's playground. Scout's always crush. Ever since that fated day when Demoman got nerfed, and then 400 DPM was not a norm. It was a goal of Demoman for Viaduct. And now somehow Slemnish is able to emulate those damage stats as a scout, and it's just insane how powerful scouts are, especially when you've got a scout as good as Slemnish just having the time of his life right now.
I bet you he's having a blast, as getting 35 kills in an invite match must be good. So basically, onto this next map. I believe it is Sunshine? Yeah, Sunshine. So another scout-oriented map, kinda. If I'm SVIFT, I'm feeling good, because obviously my scouts are hitting some absolutely insane shots, some absolutely insane meat shots. If I'm going into a scout map right now and I'm SVIFT, I'm thinking that I don't have to do much. I just have Slemnish on my team. So hopefully that translates well to Sunshine, as I'm pretty sure it's going to. It's interesting to see how at the end there, Yamps went Sniper, tried to do something different, but when you're getting rolled, you kind of have to. So I want to see if they kind of change up the dynamic of this, maybe to try and shut Slemnish down a bit more. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen.
We're gonna be taking another quick caster break. We'll be listening to some great tunes from DJ Console, and we'll be back with you in no time at all, ladies and gentlemen. The final map of this best of 3. Quick run through of the stats once again. 5-4 for the first map to Ascent. That was Snakewater. Product, we have the victory of a 4-0 from SVIFT, dominating performance from Slemnish, and we'll be seeing you very shortly on Sunshine for the winners of this first bracket in our playoffs. Winner of this will be going on to the upper bracket final versus confirmed Freotech won the previous match during this live cast. So stick around and we'll be seeing you shortly. Dun, dun, dun. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again for this, the ESEA Invite playoffs, the beginning of playoffs. This is between the second and third seed, Ascent versus SVIFT, respectively. We're on the third map in this incredibly bizarre turn of events for a best of three. What did you say, Tambo?
I don't know. This is so rare in TF2 that like there's not many examples of it in recent memory, except for that one grand finals a couple years ago or a couple seasons ago that lasted that long. But yeah, usually maps nowadays, especially in the first round of playoffs, usually getting decided within 2 maps. So it's interesting to see it's such a dynamic where it was such a close map first game, an absolute roll the second game, and now the third map, no one really knows what to expect. I'm sure because even though Slemnish put up such a great performance last time, we don't know what's going to happen this match at all, considering the first 5 CP was such a tight battle.
Yeah, and I mean, really, just everything about that product match, like it was a complete shutout, genuinely, in every single aspect of the word. Ascent barely got more than 2 minutes off on any given round, and that really speaks to the strength of the team on that map. And unfortunately, Ascent could not step up to the plate. So we're gonna be seeing how they can fix things up in what is considered to be the bread and butter of TF2, and that's back to good old 5 CP. This time on Sunshine, the process wannabe.
Yep, this map is also pretty scout oriented, not nearly as much as Viaduct to be. I mean, obviously, but still pretty scout oriented map. It's quite like process, so we do have a potential for Slimnish to continue his reign of the server, perhaps.
Yeah, I really want to see if Slemnish can hold on to that same power. That's a very valuable thing to have in your arsenal if you're SVIFT right now, coming off the high of winning product 4-0. I mean, you just got to be feeling so good now that you need to take all of that made you so successful in product and put it to 5 CP, which is really the secret to beating Ascent at this point, because they were back and forth in Snakewater. We saw it. So we'll be seeing now both teams readied up. We'll be going live very shortly. So yeah, let's see if SVIFT can do it right.
Take the mid fight away, Ro.
Yeah, so let's do this as we slowly and quietly and patiently and awkwardly wait. So the match is live. Demo's getting in position. Delpo opting to go on the right side, but not to go to the left side. Delpo's going to be getting his way through the alleyway, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm seeing him through the walls. He gets through the valley, excuse me. He's going to be working his way up to the point. He does spot out Bonansky in front of the cafe. Takes it really sticky right away, so he's going to get to even up all those heals early on. Showstopper jumped in really quickly, and then actually opened the door for Yamps to walk into the face of Delpo and take him down very quickly. Patty will be able to pick him up to Slendish, and it's even numbers on both sides, but Bonansky down is now going to be making it look desperate for Ascent, because Nursey is way too committed, and there's only Patty alive, who's getting in the face of 4-4. Does get arrowed down! Very nicely done by 4-4. He can hold his own. He doesn't need a scout or a pocket watching over him. He's got his own angel wings.
So far, 4-4 with the most air shots on the server, with that air arrow onto Patty, as we do see SVIFT now taking a full Uber advantage, taking the aggression from last game, taking the momentum, rolling it right through Sunshine so far, as they do keep their medic alive somehow on that middle. He was kind of trapped, I believe, in Cafe, and somehow they got him out with some really aggressive play, and once again Patty getting air shots. So we do see them holding last now with the gun on the right side and the heavy, reminiscent of Snakewater, on opposite sides this time. So we do see Patty trying to deny them in lobby, and let's see them try and push wherever they want to.
Yeah, they're taking currently the top right option for them. They're clearing out the stickies as best they can. One sticky left, and they're taking so much time. This is actually very bad for them, because if this Uber takes too long, Nursey can build the Uber before the Uber ends. So finally, we do see them popping off. Takes down the gun right away. Pyro coming in, they're going to get taken down very quickly by Delpo. And that's actually very crucial here, because now with 2 players, it's going to be huge. But Delpo gets sawed by Nursey, and that's going to allow her to get the Uber off. And that's going to help them defend this point absolutely for free here. High Five is the only player left alive on the last point. He's going to get taken out by Sandblast there. What a very clutch saw there from Nursey. Very well timed. unfortunately, no one could quite capitalize on their Uber advantage and focus the medic there.
Yep, great recognition by both medics there. Nursey getting that clutch saw, pretty much saving the round. I don't think they were going to get there, but they're around 80%. The frags were going the way of SVIFT in the beginning, but that saw really evened the odds. And now we see even Uber situation. 404 also having the cognizance to get out of that last point, not really committing his life to the push, so if that wasn't the case, we probably would see Ascent on mid at this point, but yeah, once again, through the entire series, even on a map like Product, we don't see the medics getting caught out in these situations where maybe lower level teams would not have heals, so good play so far by both teams.
Yeah, and Delpo failing a sticky trap twice in a row. Really getting his play position. They're going for a cafe push here. I like this because I don't want to see stagnant TF2. Oh no! I know it was going there. Garbuglio was going to jump in through choke, but he missed his rocket. I don't know what he hit, but it just did not work out, and so he tried to get out. Yomp sniped him out of the sky with those scattergun shots. So now SVIFT are going to be into yes, Garbuglio in chat. Where does my rocket go? That cost them that push because that was a good play, but Garbuglio could not execute it, and so SVIFT on the defensive can't. Well, actually, they were facing opposition from Ascent, but Ascent backed off at the last minute.
Yeah, and now we see once again a reset. No rounds going either way of the team so far, but SVIFT having the advantage of having middle. So on this map, it's kind of different dynamic than Snakewater. You can kind of just throw your bodies at the enemy medic until they use, but this time we do see a sat coming in by Garbuglio. He's not even getting close to the medic at this point. He really needs to change something up the way he's bombing, because I'm not sure if he's missing the rocket again, or he's just not getting within the same distance as Nursey that he needs to even get one rocket off. So perhaps a double sack is going to happen, but now we see Ascent actually going through this cafe area.
Big damage, though, is going to be forcing Nursey very early here, and that's looking very disastrous for them. Ascent aren't even going to send anyone else in. They don't want to lose numbers. They want to play the defensive game, force the Uber off, try and kite as best they can, and find themselves in a favorable position as they do see SVIFT trying to make a decision on where they're going to push here.
Yep, and they look like they're trying to go through the cafe area with this full advantage. We see Badonsky does not have a trap here. I believe his trap is near Valley or something, as he's only spamming pills. There's no trap. They're going to be able to get in mostly for free, but Showstopper onto the medic does not be able to force 404 even with 60 health. Ascent is looking like they're going to lose second here, as 404 keeps his Uber at 100%. Nursey only at 80, definitely going to get the Uber, but we could see some aggression here from SVIFT, maybe some sacks.
Position here. Badonsky putting up some tracks on the left. Slemnish jumping into the face of Badonsky, surfing the stickies perfectly, and then taking him down with 3 shots. He's going to be getting onto the heavy. Yomps is doing so much damage with this Tomaslop. Going to be able to take down Slemnish. And 4-4 trying to escape out up top. Patty was able to get that frag there. Showstopper also doing a little bit of work there. Patty's very desperately trying to get some health here. Almost gets caught up by Marmaduke, who just barely peeked around the corner. Could have taken him down there. Is instead going to be picking up Showstopper and getting in the face of Nursey. Can't connect 2 rockets, though, and he's going to get taken down by Patty there. That was very weird. There was a lot of hurt players in very close quarters. And thankfully, though, things all panned out for Ascent.
Yep, so far we've seen, I think, 2 examples of one team having a very slight advantage and maybe being a bit overzealous on their push, as this time we see Nursey pushing in through the choke point pretty clean, not even getting shot at all, and SVIFT having that respawn of Marmaduke and also losing their other soldier, losing a lot of their spam potential in this midpoint, but High Five able to take down 1 soldier and now both soldiers. High Five making an incredible individual play here, as he's probably going to get taken out, but good effort there.
Cap going to Ascent now. We're still on the first round. I think it's been about 15 minutes or so since we started this whole charade. And this is reminiscent of what we saw last week. Just last week, I think. Was Sunshine was the last map, right?
I do believe that, yeah, they played that Sunshine map and it was quite long. So perhaps the same thing is going to happen on Sunshine as it happened on Snakewater. Both these teams seem like deadlocked even. So the individual plays are going to be coming out sooner rather than later, in my opinion, as Yomps on the sniper class. A danger to the blue team.
Yes, and Garbuglio, the first target, dodges it with, whew, gonna have to change his pants after that one. That was close. You see a fully charged Yomps down alley. You do not want to be on the other end of that scope. And right now, we're seeing Delpo in that same position. Takes an early sticky. Could have been sniped there with one headshot was all it was going to take, but Delpo barely survives because apparently Yomps didn't want to take the shot.
And we see him rotating. I like the fact that he's only taking one shot or so in one position. He's showing himself, then he rotates out. That's pretty much the best way to keep sniper as a threat in sixes, especially when they've only called you out. If they haven't called you out, you can pretty much peek wherever you want. It doesn't really matter because they're not going to expect it no matter what. But now he's only taking a shot, only staying there for a second, rotating, keeping the red team on their toes, or the blue team on their toes. So now we see him missing the shot on very close on 404, but not quite.
Yeah, I got a little antsy there. Walked forward, took a couple stickies to the feet from Delpo, excuse me. So now that we open the door from the push in, Mercy at the choke point, not in a great position here, miraculously avoiding all this damage. Finally pops it off. Armored Girl's the only casualty on the side of Swift so far. But Onsi's trying to escape here with his life. Lands on Tetris, and the rest of Swift are in a good position to refight here, but Yomps and Sandblast have taken down High Five as well as Delpo. Patty's gonna get taken down to Slendish, and Garbuglia will be able to pick up the Yomps here. Swift are backing up. 4-4 so low on health. And Ascent might be able to pick up another player here. Garbuglia takes a rocket and then a follow-up sticky. A miracle sticky from Donsky there, and that's going to be a very crucial pick because that's going to guarantee them a lot of room in lobby here.
Yeah, both of the soldiers going down so low, one of them dying on the side of Swift. So we do see around a 15 or so advantage from Nursey. Probably not going to be pushing off of it, but now we see the off classes coming out once again, this time by the side of High Five and Garbuglia. So actually they're getting quite aggressive in lobby. Is Ascent. They're going to take some pills, so they're going to back up, but it looks like they might want to do something with the Zubers. They're hanging around on bats like menacingly. I'm not sure. I'm scared of I'm definitely scared of what Show's going to do. He might bomb in and cause some havoc, but that sentry gun finally giving up to allow on level 2. So yeah, that bomb is going to get denied. Slime just getting a really clean 2k without taking much damage at all.
It's going to be very good for them to give them some room to push out. They have a sentry on last. Nope, not anymore. They're going to be getting all their players committed. High Five clearing a sticky trap that doesn't even matter. Slowing things down for the rest of the team. They're going to be popping Ura off right away. Picking off Badonsi though. And then Double picks up on a Slam Blast too, just before Nursey finally pops Ura off in the face of Patty, who's going down in the dungeon, going to be able to pick up a Slumnish here. That's actually a very crucial pick, given his track record. But now, Patty was in position lower, able to get 2 rockets onto 4-4 and take him down, as well as some good damage onto some players in last. This is looking very good for Ascent.
Patty has a round-winning play right there. Killing that scout lower with the Uber, noticing that that scout was definitely caught out, nowhere to go, and then continuously pushing, getting 2 rockets on the medic. What a play by Patty. Actually, just too fast for Swift to even respond. That scout definitely called him on his kill cam going lower, but I guess Swift wasn't ready for it because Patty just comes in, 2 rockets the medic, and they win the round off it.
Yeah, I think in that moment specifically what happened is they hear Patty's going lower, they start backing up, trying to get in position instead of, you know, staying pinched between Shutter and Patty.
Yep, and now we see the mid-fight from both teams actually starting a bit aggressive on the side of Swift, trading 2 frags versus 2 frags, 4v4, but Garbuglio ends up going down to Sandblast is now, actually, High Five getting that Yomps kill too, as we see a 3v2. Let's see if Sandblast wants to take this fight. I don't think he does. Yep, getting out of Cafe. Just getting out with her life is Nursey, so we do have an even Uber situation, but the aggression from Swift, I don't think it's going to stop here, because 3 down from Ascent means second point is ripe for picking.
We do have Slumnish on that sniper, playing the same thing Yomps was doing. Let's see if he can connect any more shots. We're going to be seeing as well. Yomps going for that spy. He's going to be looking for any potential snipers, checking for spies. He confirms no spies. Check for the sniper and does confirm it now, but by this time, Slumnish has already charged up a shot, and he's so deep in alley. He could have gotten a shot on a showstopper, but he jumps down and is going to get out of the sideline just in time.
Yeah, now we see another reset. Slumnish, this time on the sniper instead of High Five. We'll see what he does as he's peeking Cafe a bit closely. And now we see him... See, here's the difference between, I think, what Slumnish and Yomps were doing. I think Yomps was doing it a bit better. Slumnish is staying in this Cafe area a bit too long, so... When you're Yomps and you're rotating really quick, the other team really never knows when you're gonna push. But we do see the spy from Yomps now. I don't think we've seen spy at all in this series so far. So this has a high potential to be effective. Oh, but they do spot him out, and he's going to end up going down lower.
Bedanski a little bit forward here. He's got enough stickies to watch himself and gonna be able to pick up on the Garbuglio, who was trying to pick his way in through the cafe to get taken down, but now Slimnish, who's in a good position here. They do have that Yomps pick, so it's gonna slow things down, but they're still opting to go for a 3-man push with just Uber. They're working their way in, gonna force off 4-4 right away, juggling some players around the Tetris, and Sandblast snuck in, took down Slimnish, very uncontested. Is now getting into the choke, where Showstoppers managed to pick up 4-4 as well as High 5 before getting taken down by Delpo. And Ascent now has control over the midpoint, but a big bomb coming from Garbuglio. He's going to get taken down, but he does pick up Bedanski as a consolation prize.
This is extremely important for Ascent that they close out this round. I'm sure that as soon as Slemnish spawns, as soon as High 5 spawns, they're going to want to be setting up for last. As we don't see the gun quite yet, I think this is a bit of a misplay because High 5 just switching to Engineer right now, I do believe, actually Slemnish. This is actually quite late. If they did this right off the respawn, I believe they would have it at least level 2, but now it's in danger of only being level 1 as Ascent. On about 90% Uber, looking to push top right as we see that gun just now getting to level 2, that heavy not quite full buff, so we see Ascent may be able to catch out SVIFT before they're completely ready.
So much pipe spam, that was so well timed by Delpo, bringing down Bedanski to basically low double-digit health. And that's going to be slowing things down because he takes all the brunt of the Uber. And now all the other players who aren't in that Uber are going to get taken down. Patty will trade with Slimnish, though. Absolutely a great trade there. But Delpo is not afraid to rush forward. There is a player, Bedanski, in the dungeon. He's actually going to be able to go for last. No! He's going to get it!
No one there to stop him at all, and he does solo cap even without the pain train. Beautiful presence of mind by Bedanski. Knows that 3 people are alive, knows that 3 people are pushing out, so he says, okay, if you're not going to get spawns in time, I might as well just go cap the last point. He doesn't even need ×2, so great play by him.
Inhuman reaction. Okay, I just had to say that once. We're going to be seeing Bedanski, if he can pull the same kind of tricks at this mid-fight. He's taking a lot of damage. He's sitting behind the shack. Garbuglio is now taking control of the bell tower, putting in some fat damage onto the demo. All these players from Ascent are very low on health, and Sandblast down. It's looking very grim. High 5 will get taken down by Yomps, though, pistoling away as he does sneak out, and Marmaduke Grills taking control of Cafe. Is able to take down nice frag onto Yomps there with 2 rockets.
So we see another situation where SVIFT has the opportunity to take second. As they do come in, no one has Uber quite yet, so yep, Ascent is going to need to forfeit this point. If they had maybe built a bit better, which I don't really think is that possible, Nursey was building quite well the entire time. Maybe could have fought that point, but they ended up just giving it up. And once again, up 2-0, you're perfectly fine with holding last for as much time as you can. Now the heavy gets set up.
Go ahead.
Now the heavy gets set up top left. Actually in quite an aggressive position is Yomps. I don't see him playing back at all. Oh, actually that soldier gets through. Doesn't end up getting anything, so this position from Yomps proved effective.
Yeah, a lot of free ground here for Ascent. They've got actually Yomps, yeah. He's that Yeti all the way forward. Trying to get a little bit of room here. Bedanski's with him too with a sticky trap. Gonna rush to the face of the Demo Man and the Tomislav Heavy thanks to that nice little silent killer. He's going to be able to get that shot onto High 5 who walked right into the face of it. So very sneaky play there. But Sandblast who got a little bit too far forward. Once again, playing around that heavy. That's actually a really good play. They're having him around the corner to defend these players that try and get that free room. So this is a very good use of Yomps.
The unfortunate thing that happened, that soldier was lower getting that health back, and it just so happened the spy also came in around that same time, so he probably got spotted out by that soldier who spammed the rocket. But we do see High 5 going in for a sec, and now Garbuglio did not get spotted, I guess, because he does backstab Nursey, putting SVIFT in a potential round-winning situation with that drop. And now Bedanski setting up top left as best he can, but SVIFT is going to have a full Uber ad for this last point as Garbuglio hasn't even spawned yet. I mean, Nursey hasn't even spawned yet.
Yeah, that was kind of a valuable pick there with that spy play, and I wasn't even aware of it until it actually happened because I was so caught up with the Yomps heavy. And Ascent now with that huge Uber disad, we're gonna be seeing SVIFT take control of it. They're clearing the stickies on the left side, and Bedanski's just quickly relaying them. And with Yomps in that very cute hiding spot right below that side, we're gonna be seeing how SVIFT can respond to it.
Everyone from SVIFT buffed as they're willing to push in this left side as that gun finally gets taken down. Showstopper also a casualty. Slemnish so deep onto this demo man. Badonsky's not taking too much damage yet, but Delpo and Slemnish able to clean him up. I think this is going to go the way of SVIFT, but they do lose players to Patty's bomb. They lose both Marmaduke and Slemnish, and even though Delpo did... Oh my goodness, 2 pipes onto Sandblast. Jesus.
Can't quite do the same with Patty, though. Patty had enough health to live, even 1 more pipe. So, Ascent will be taking control of their second after a little bit of a delay, and that's actually going to open up the door for a recap here. Nurse sees in a little bit of a dangerous spot here, playing inside the tube, and there's so many players coming in. Nurse is going to have to escape through lower in the face of High Five, and she has Uber, so she's going to have to pop it in the face of these players, baiting some players in here. Garbuglia's going to be able to pick off Patty there, and now it's looking really bad. Nursey didn't pop off, so that's very good, but they've lost a lot of ground here. Now Swift is going to be in a good position to get a force here.
Point time is already getting taken down by High Five as they do lose 2 here, but it's not too bad of a problem as they're going to have 50 ad. I'm excited to see whether or not they either just give them this point or try to fight it. I think they're going to try and fight it as Slemnish and Marmaduke out. Actually, they're starting to get out now through the cafe area. So they're going to just... They're willing to take this ad and just re-push either through Valley or Cafe, I'm sure.
Cafe right away, in fact, so we're going to be seeing them working their way through. A lot of spam coming in, not going to be connecting onto any players, though. They have a lot of freedom here on this patio, and potentially going to grab Patty, yo. But no, Podolsky instead pipes down Delpo, and that's going to be a crucial pick for slowing things down, because now they can't push last, and Nursey will have her Uber.
Definitely. So Delpo dying. I don't think SVIFT is going to push just because of that, and also they probably understand at this point they don't have Uber, but they do Uber in lower. This is extremely interesting as they do Uber into a heavy, and with no demo, the heavy gets 2 kills. Both soldiers going down on the side of SVIFT as Delpo just barely getting here right through choke. I don't think they're going to be able to hold this at all.
Yeah, so now we're going to be seeing Showstopper taking a lot of ground in the forward cafe. Slemnish try to work his way in. Meeting up in the face of Badonsky. The cap finally does go to Ascent, even Ubers on both sides. And yeah, we're gonna be seeing what's gonna happen, because I think this is gonna be our next proper stalemate here. We're in the first half, right? This is gonna end in like 2 seconds.
We're still in the first half, so
Oh, 10 minutes left. Okay, I'm sorry.
About 10 minutes left. So if you're SVIFT, you're not really worrying quite yet, but it's still in the back of your mind that time is going to be an issue relatively soon. So 5 minutes from now, you really, really have to start worrying about those rounds and just like pushing off them. So Ascent probably wants SVIFT to get into that panicked mentality. Even though their trades have been beneficial for them, I don't think Patty's going to be calling for anything too crazy, just like the first game. He was content to just sit back a little bit. Now we see SVIFT kind of peak in Valley. I'm not sure what they're doing.
Yeah, Garbuglio somehow got a little bit deep there, baited his own teammate High Five, and took so much damage. Not gonna get taken down though, so Garbuglio will stay alive. Ascent is trying to find their way to push forward, but I don't think they are really in any position to try and decide these kind of things. I mean, they have 2 rounds up, and pushing in with 1 ad is going to be really tough for them. They're losing Sandblast here, potentially. He's juking around the shack so well. Finally gets taken down, but that actually opened up the door for Yomps to get into the face of Garbuglio, take him down, pistoling away once again. That's his staple. He's at 100, he's like 2 HP, jumping for his life and pistoling away. Ooh.
Now we see this aggression from SVIFT coming in with that 2-player ad, but I don't think they're getting enough damage here to force the Uber. They do take down Show, but Patty, still healthy, wants to take this exchange right onto the medic. They do take this exchange, but Badonsky goes down in the backfield. 2 down for Ascent here. They have to be getting out. If they lose anyone else, this is a potential round. Oh, Nursey goes down.
High Five, who did so much work there. He's on last, chasing down Patty. He's so on health, trying to do a little ballerina move. Showstopper jumping to the point. He's going to try and contest as best he can. The cap on second, just now finishing up. Showstopper, the last player alive. He's coming around and gets taken down by 4-4, who I think has more kills than Showstopper at this point. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not sure about all that, but we do see the first round going on the side of Ascent as Slemnish, once again, 2 dominations leading to left off the last game with 3, so he might be turning up a little bit on this upcoming 4th round. We do see Badonsky going on to the choke side, Delpo going on to the valley side, and both teams playing a bit passively in the beginning. High Five kind of getting aggressive. Do you see the bomb finally come out as Slemish takes down Showstopper, but Gargulio is traded right back, and Marmaduke jumps onto the point. Very low health on a lot of the Ascent players. They do end up getting that 2k from Yomps, though.
Yeah, Ascent once again taking back what's rightfully theirs, considering their 2-1 lead in this first half. There's only 7 minutes left. They've got a lot of time to work with here with their ad. Or, excuse me, not really an ad, but 4-4 hasn't been building, so he's only just now getting his Uber. And Ascent have a lot of options here.
Yeah, they definitely have two methods they can take. So the first one obviously is just throw bodies at the medic until you force him, which obviously hasn't worked out so far this match because both medics are playing so well that they don't really seem to get forced at all in these sack situations. But they can also kind of bait out a push from SVIFT, which is kind of what they want as well, because Patty taking those aggressive Ubers that do so much damage all the time as Yomps does go in for that sack. They do end up losing two, so a double sack is not bad, especially if they get a kill. And now Garbuglio on Engineer, they're not going to be going anywhere, so perhaps Ascent is just going to be doing the former option and just chipping away at the medic until they can find someone.
Ooh, Slimnish did try to find his way in from behind. Sandblast will finally be able to pick that off. So now Ascent are in the very convenient position of having a numbers advantage and then not doing anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Patty here, you probably want to stay in lobby and just like poke your way into another force or another sack situation. So potentially,
yeah, a much more favorable position, I think.
Definitely. Oh, the sniper though coming up top left. Slemnish not getting the shot that he wanted, and Delpo also going down very, very weak. So this is the perfect time to sack if they want to do it. Two players very weak on the left side. They opt not to. They actually have the heavy. The heavy of Yomps in lobby aggressively, not gonna make any noise on the spin up, so I'm not sure they've called him out yet, but a potential Uber exchange is in order soon enough, and then the heavy comes in top right is usually the idea of this.
Ooh, here comes the quick force right away. They're getting right into the face of the players. The sentry gun is going to be knocking some players back. Podolsky finally dispatching with the sentry, but Sandblast has been left to dry. He gets taken down by the roller from the Iron Bomber. That's such a rare kill. He tried to get out through dungeon, couldn't make it happen, and now 4-4 with full Uber out is going to be pushing their way in as quickly as possible, and Ascent need to get this force off desperately.
Yeah, that was an interesting play by Yomps, able to pretty much deny that entire aggression here. He's probably not even going to get taken out as he does surf that rocket directly into Cafe. Still up on heavy, he's really, really low. He gets a kill on the Slemnish. That's ridiculous as SVIFT finally able to start this cap, or finish this cap off with even Ubers. As the heavy's pushing back through Cafe, gets another kill, and then finally gets arrowed.
4-4 with his third kill in the last 2 rounds. Or, yeah, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, whatever you want to call it. Doing a very good job of cleaning up where his scouts can't. And so now we see, finally, with Yomps dispatched, we're going to be seeing potentially a little bit of a hold because they have that numbers advantage, but Ascent are not afraid. They know they have that add, and big bomb from Garbuglio right into the face of Nursey. Can't get that last rocket off. He committed so many rockets to getting deep that he didn't have enough to finish the job, and now Nursey with that Uber is going to be pushing the lobby with this huge ad now that they picked off high five as well, or a huge number ad.
As the Ubers do get popped, we kind of see an interesting situation as Ascent gets extremely deep into the right. No one's really contesting them at all. Nursey's quite weak, so is the Scout, but they do get cap time on. The Soldier's going to get taken down. They get 2 frags for it. Show with a huge bomb. Actually, I think might even get 3 frags there. But SVIFT following up. This is just a nail biter every time we see kills going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and just barely somehow SVIFT holding on to that last point after losing 2 so early.
This is also really crucial because with Nursey backing out, sure, they preserved quote-unquote Uber ad, but it was only 5% and 4 for respawn by the time Nursey started healing. So the Ubers are practically non-existent as far as advantage, and Nursey will know that, so Ascent aren't going to be finding themselves in a position to push here. We're just going to be seeing, once again, a reset and potentially some more opportunities to get players in. Maybe just another push in with Uber, try and make something happen, get that favorable exchange post-Uber.
Here's about this time when it starts getting into your head about how much time is left. So I'd assume there's about 4 or 5 minutes left. Swift on their last. They know that any mistake that Ascent makes, as they do Uber exchange directly into them, they get a kill really early, but the counter Uber is popped off and they trade 2 kills. And now we see 2 kills once again going the way of SVIFT as they want to push out here desperately, probably around 3 minutes left. So we're gonna see as much aggression as SVIFT can muster up, forcing them out Cafe, forcing them out Choke. SVIFT is gonna get this cap. And once again, even Ubers.
Yeah, this is very good for them. No back cap attempts. High Five is just now respawned, is walking forward. No hiding players to worry about. Even numbers, even Ubers. It's looking very interesting, is a good way to put it. Because right now, nothing's really like set in stone. You know, you're on second, and if you lose anything, you're potentially going to lose another round. So if you're Swift, maybe you just take the 1-round deficit, hope that Ascent tries to get aggressive, and you get a better post-Uber exchange, post-fight exchange, and see if you can make something happen on the tail end of that with whatever time's left. So I think Swift is in a better position right now to play passive, play defensive, and just let the round time out. And then if there's time, maybe do a run back.
Yep. So yeah, neither team can really make a mistake here. It would hurt them so much if either team gave up a round at this point. It's approaching times where they can't even push to last quite as far. So they're probably apt to just take this 1-round deficit into the second half and see what they can do on the next middle. If I were them, I would just be discussing strategies and potentially thinking about how they're going to mount this comeback. It's a small comeback though. 1 round isn't anything.
Yeah, they definitely can do it here, but Ascent are taking the ground that Switch is giving them. We have Yomps doing a nice little dance, trying to pull players in to showstopper. This is the classic bait, but it's a little bit too enticing with how dancey Yomps is behaving. It's not even catching anyone's eye, so it's all for naught. It's pretty entertaining to watch from Cafe.
Yep, and I'm sure both teams are actually pretty content just to sit here, let the time go out. I know that Ascent wants that, and now SVIFT probably wants that at this point. They don't want to lose this round. As aggression actually coming in, they lose 2 players instantly. Nursey popping Uber on just about nothing. But 1 minute 45 seconds left, I do believe, so now potentially SVIFT with the full advantage. I'm not sure why Nursey dropped both of her players. Clearly some sort of mistake on one person's part or another, because if you push at the same time, you both can't get Ubered at the same time. So Nursey just, I guess, decided not to Uber either of them.
Yeah. Oh, the drop from Badonsky is going to stop
Goodness.
this entirely. Swift had so much potential here with only 30 seconds left on the clock to come in. They are going to be doing a lot of work here. Good damage, but it's all up to Slemnish, who has a little bit of a buff, takes a lot of damage here. He could actually potentially do some work here, but no, Nursey's alive. There's no way he can kill all these players and get out. He's getting into the face of Badonsky. So much damage on the Sandblast, but no, that'll be it. And that's going to be the end of the round. There's less than 0 seconds left, so there it is. That drop was incredibly useful. I mean, that's, you know, a given. If you get a drop, that's, of course, it's useful, but right there with 40 seconds on the clock, 30 seconds on the clock, that was absolutely the moment that decided Swift or whether or not they could take the next round.
Yeah, and if you're on Ascent and you're looking at Badonsky right now, you're thanking him, because that was looking like a really important round for SVIFT, and they were prone to take it. I don't think that Ascent had really any chance to get Uber on last. Their best hope was that heavy NG setup, and even though it's worked quite a lot before, it's still, you know, usually doesn't in terms of invite TF2. So you have that 60 ad, all eyes are on you, but once again, Badonsky coming in with that crucial individual play. He's done it all set. I mean, he's done it all series, so I'm not surprised about that at all, to be honest.
Yeah, very powerful stuff from Badonsky. Still a trap master, you could say. You know, we saw that in Snakewater where he got 3 picks of the players rushing him. This crucial drop here now. Really good stuff. So real quick, Tambo, before they go live, they're going to go live any moment now, but just quickly do a stat rundown. I think you'll be pleased to see that with such a close game, we have also close stats.
Yep, and we do see 3 frags difference between the teams this time. Ascent leading by 3. Leading damage actually by quite a bit, about 4,000. So let's see on the side of Ascent who has this damage that we're seeing, and I do think Patty doing about 7,000 damage. I think he is top damaging the server. Actually, Delpo doing the most damage in the server. But we do have Badonsky with that crucial last play, and no one quite standing out in terms of frags. Yamps has 20 though, Slemnish has 26. Actually, Slemnish 26 and 13. Let's talk about that for a second. Absolutely outclassing the scouts from Ascent. 26, 13 to 11 DPM. He's clearly playing the combo scout role extremely well. Just chasing down these soldiers, getting these kills. As more people ready up, you got to be thinking that well, we can't let another one of those rounds slip between our fingers, especially when the time is like the time is so slow, or the time is so low.
That it is, and now with one round left, excuse me, no, there's not one round left. There's one half left. There's 30 minutes left, assuming we don't go to golden cap. So this is crunch time. This is absolutely the time to figure out what's right, what's wrong, and Slemnish is absolutely what's right for Swift. Let's see if who do you see on the stats from Swift? I hate to do it this way, but who do you see on the stats that could improve on the side of Swift?
The combo scout from Swift, high five. He's not doing poorly, you know, in such a close set, especially when you lose the half. Combo Scout is probably one of the, if not the most difficult roles besides maybe Rumor. So we do see high five going 15 and 16, not too terrible, but his flank partner as well, Garbuglio, going around 10 and 21. So I'd like them to play a bit more passively, but stats don't paint the entire picture because that was such a stalemated game. You have to sack as the roamer class. You have to sack as the combo or as the flank scout. So your stats are never going to be great unless you're rolling. Let's face it. So
in the immortal words of Marxist, if you ain't dying, you ain't trying.
Exactly.
So kudos to Garbuglio and the yeah. Well, now we're going live. So why don't you take us away in this next mid and see if Swift can bring it back.
So yep, going live onto this mid, I have my eyes on Badonsky early to see, actually he kind of flubs the last part of his rollout, I mean, so he's going to be a bit slower than Delpo. It looks like they're not going to shoot each other though. I like this play from Badonsky, just to give up on shooting the medic and start trying to get early damage on the scouts. He ends up not hitting too many shots, but both teams trade sides, so this is potential for anything to happen. Marmaduke taking a lot of damage up top, so he is actually having to back up as Patty and Yamps get kills onto Swift members. Delpo returning one onto Yamps, and Marmaduke also returning one onto Showstopper. But a 3v3, a 3v4 situation, and now finally Patty and Badonsky killing two people, allowing Delpo to potentially be the last member alive.
Delpo trying to make an escape here. He's actually, oh, okay, I thought he was going to go for something a little risky, but he will find his way out through the shutter, sticking it off and staying alive. So him being alive will open up the door for potentially him to pull off a cheeky trap, but instead he's just kind of playing the sort of, I don't know what to call it, the stand-in demo role where you're not making an impact, but your presence is manipulating the way Ascent handles things. And so right now, ooh, big damage from Garbuglio, who was able to get so deep, launch Nursey into the air, but she had no fear whatsoever. She lands very safely, and Swift have no soldiers to defend with now.
Yeah, that is a big misplay by Swift. You can't lose both soldiers before the last push, and if you're going to lose both soldiers, you at least have to force the medic. They don't accomplish either of those, so this could not be freer for Ascent. I'm sure they're going to cap this point off and take a 3-1 lead.
Very good blitzing right away, too. We saw a good mid. Delpo couldn't quite make anything happen for his team defensively speaking. And then, of course, those soldiers sacrificing themselves. Didn't work out for them. So now with a 3-1 deficit going into this second half, 1 minute into the round, and we're seeing Delpo in the alley. Going to be taking an early stick from, or Sticky slowing him down from Badonsky, who's taking a little bit more damage considerably. Slemnish taking so much damage, though, is going to get cleaned up by Yamps here. Follow-up bomb from Marmaduke Grills sitting above the awning, though. It's going to be jumping into the face of Badonsky, putting out some good damage here. Did manage to pick off Nursey there, I believe. No, it was Garbuglio. Yeah.
It was a good air shot. Badonsky actually still alive here. 2v2. One player with heals. Oh, nice rocket onto Yamps. I'd like to see Yamps stay alive for a bit longer in that situation, but he ends up going down, and Badonsky, I believe he's trying to get out. Yeah, if he's going to be able to get out, so that's not too bad, as they will have a demo man to try and force them onto the second point. But yeah, crucial pick there by Marmaduke to kill Yamps there, because a 2v1 in that situation, if you're a soldier and they have a scout, anything can happen really, especially if you don't have that shotgun equipped. So now we have Swift going into Valley with a full Uber ad.
Yeah, they're clearing their way through. Marmaduke Girls once again leading the way here. Good damage here. Showstopper gonna get taken down by Garbuglio, and that's not what you want to have happen. I'm not sure if he was a sack player or a hiding in cafe, but either way, now he's down. It slowed things down enough for Nursey to get this Uber before they can push. But that's actually not going to stop them from getting in the face. They're going to go straight for the medic here, but Nursey has the comfort of the respawn to get in, and so now they need to take clearing the point and at least get some time there, getting some good damage onto Sandblast on the point. Nursey pops the Uber and is going to be able to save the point.
And yeah, 4-4 able to get out. I like that play a lot from Nursey to kite that Uber so well, get to the other side instantly and pop that Uber just in time to save the point from being capped anymore. So great play from Nursey there, great play from 4-4 to get out, and we do see a reset now with pretty much even Ubers onto the second point.
Yeah, pretty much even. So nothing's really going to happen here. Ascent is on the lead. They're holding second. They can play defensively. They don't have to do much. They just have to wait for Swift to, you know, set the pace. And once they've made a mistake, Ascent can retaliate. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, and now with a 2-round deficit, going into the last half of a best of 3, especially when it's 1-1, the pressure is starting to grow. Because even though the time is not nearly a problem at this point, we do see SVIFT now in an attacking position, now in a position to make a statement as Marmaduke Grills does bomb into Valley. They look like they want to just bring their heels here, to be honest. They might actually just start a dry push. Actually, High Five going behind, so he's probably going to stay alive for a while as they try and set something up.
Actually, oh, bad timing from him. He almost was able to sneak in while Sandblast was sitting on top of the patio. But just good rotation from Yomps, and Sandblast was able to get him in. Yomps once again doing some very nice job of just snaking his way through the mid and cafe. He just made it all the way to Alley. He's going to be getting into a fight with Slemnish here. Gonna get the better of it. He gets him. Yomps is so good. He almost taunts. He wanted.
Oh my goodness, typing.
Just so he can type kid. And then Slemnish retaliates with a your first 1v1. Grats.
Jesus, I've never seen a ballsier play than Yomps there, just running into the team. And actually, Badonsky is actually going to catch out a player here, and Patty catches out the other, so maybe SVIFT crumbling a little bit. They had that aggressive position, and now they're losing 2, about to lose the midpoint, but Patty goes in way before his team for whatever reason, so now an exchange is in order from both teams as Slemnish going to take this fight with Sandblast once again. The Uber is popped off first. On the side of SVIFT, they finally get the Uber force, and now Sandblast making them multi a little bit as he starts to chase into Cafe. They do get a pick on the side of SVIFT, so refight might be in order.
Ascent owning this point and putting some fat damage to the choke. Oh my goodness. Badonski's just calling it for his team. I've done so much damage. They're coming Cafe. They're coming Cafe. It's coming in deep, and Badonski's doing so much work.
Oh my
goodness. He gets
goodness.
the pipeline with Delpo as well. There's one more player behind. Garbuglio will get taken down, though, by Sandblast, and 404 pulls the sack, or the kill bind, while Badonsky got the last little frag there. So Badonsky now rushing to last. I'm not sure you can quantify the amount of work that he just did for his team. He literally killed 3 people with like 1,000 damage instantly, and now Ascent gonna cap this last point off. Oh my goodness. If I had to give an MVP to this map so far, it would 100% be Badonsky. He's doing everything for his team that he needs to, pushing that choke point exactly when he needed to, and then when SVIFT tried to rotate, he was there as well. Like he read exactly what they were going to do. In this mid-fights, he's going to just come right through this choke point and shoot an early sticky, actually hitting Delpo on the other side as he moves towards this cafe area. Looks like he wants to go to the right. And right now, early bombs coming in as they do take down Delpo. Ascent is very poised to win this mid already. Big bomb from Garbuglio. He was strafing so expertly. Landed right on top of Nursey right near the cafe and got 2 shots there. 4-4 now trying to stay alive with Patty, who jungles into the air. Can't get the final shot. Oh, no. With the follow-up from Yomps, is able to get in there, and then bam. Yomps instantly stops doing everything to type "you choked" really hard. 4-4 dying so late into that exchange there is going to be crucial for this last hold.
And this is just some mental warfare at this point. You're up 3-1. This is the last half of a best of 3, and now the shit talk comes in. I mean, the smack talk comes in. We have some smack talk from both teams as now we go into this the second half of this second half, I guess. So we see Slemnish. In the second half of the second half, we see Slemnish now building Uber with his team. Ascent has about 50 ads, so they're probably going to start moving towards Valley at this point.
A lot of damage. Our Sticky's coming out, slowing things down. Not gonna be able to catch any players here though. Uber does get forced off into lobby. Patty doing a little bit of work here. Podonsky got taken down by Delpo's trap there. I think that was a blind debt. That's absolutely crucial here because now they have full Uber and they're going to be having a demo man advantage. So looks really good for Swift to retake this second point, but they got to be wary about that back cap.
Yep, and now we see SVIFT with this Uber charge. No off classes on the side of Ascent, so no real potential for the back cap. Actually, Yomps running in lower, able to take a fight here with, oh my goodness, just three-shotting Garbuglio, and now able to get the cap.
Well,
that was complete dominance by Yomps on that last point. GG's all around, though. Great match, and the individual play from Ascent just shined out as Podonsky and Yomps both making such incredible plays in the second half of that map. It was just incredible to see them work together to just like dismantle this SVIFT team on this map.
yeah, it was looking so good for them. Slemnish was in full force, but then, you know, nobody else could step up quite to the caliber of players like Yomps and Podonsky, who were definitely having some really strong game at the end there. So that'll be GG to Ascent. Moving on up, maintaining their second seed prowess. And they'll be facing off with Tech next week in their next best of 3 because they get to pick their maps. If you've been familiar with ESEA in the past, it's been, you know, the same 3 maps, every single bracket, all the way down. And now they actually get to choose their maps, which would probably explain why Swift had such a dominating performance in that second map. I'm assuming that was their map pick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that from now on, Ascent is going to be banning that map against SVIFT, at least in the near future. Perhaps if they meet again in this playoff series, grand finals, lower bracket finals, upper bracket, or I guess lower bracket finals at this point would have to be the case, or grands. So we do see Yomps on these stats. Yeah, we could see both. We do see Yomps on these stats, 32 kills, Slemnish with 29, but overall the kills on the side of SVIFT, kind of getting outshined by Ascent there. Definitely happy to see Podonsky put on a real show there. Just overall on almost every point, he had some impactful play on second that drop, on last that 3K, on last that 2K, on mid that 3K, and all that damage. So we really see Podonsky show his stuff here as he's pretty much been uncontested one of the best demos in North America for a long time.
Yeah, I remember the stat line being brought up. I can't remember where, but Podonsky's been at every single playoffs for I think the past 8 or 9 seasons, maybe, or 7 or 8 seasons. He's been in every single playoff or like every single grand finals.
Yeah, with the
Like
same
that,
team
that's
too.
a good stat line to have for a demo man, and that shows in his prowess tonight. He did a very good job here with you know, everything he's done.
Even when his rosters completely shuffle up, you know, he used to play with that old Ascent team that, you know, featured Mela, players like that, Shrugger. He's always stayed with them, and it's interesting to see that throughout every playstyle that every one of his teams have, he's been able to have such an impact. And even with this team that is relatively new forming into the season, we have Sandblast coming in, we have Showstopper coming in, both new players. Nursey hasn't played with them for, I mean, she's played with them for about 3 or so seasons, but now even with this lineup, Podonsky able to outshine people like Delpo, who, you know, even though he did a really great job, almost top fragging or almost top damaging the server, just so many more impactful kills on the side of Podonsky. So I really think that he deserves some sort of shout out for that map, and especially on Snakewater as well, but also Yomps, showing why he's been also one of the best scouts in the North America for a long time.
So with that, I mean, what else is there to say?
Much. It was a great match all around. I had fun casting with you, Ro.
Yeah, no, this was a real treat. I mean, this was a beautiful best of 3, which was what you can always expect when it comes to the second and third seed. But the difference here is it's actually a second and third seed that can contest for that upper bracket final. And we saw that they fought very hard. Swift almost managing to make their way to the top, but instead we'll be seeing them in the lower bracket, potentially the lower bracket finals. They'll be facing off against Velocity, who lost to Tech tonight. So I think with that said, there's not much else to say. Maybe we want to give another shout out to Newbie Mix.
Oh yeah, Newbie Mix is definitely, if we could drop the link in the chat once more, we should all check it out. Everyone can contribute, even if you're a new player, you can come play and get coached, and if you're a more experienced player, you can do some of the coaching. So great match. Check out Newbie Mixes. Yeah, not much more to say.
All right. Any closing shout outs to your friends and family, Tambo?
Shout out to my mom, even though she's in New York City and has never heard of this game. I love you.
Aw. Shout outs to moms everywhere, and shout outs to Concept for giving us the link to the new Mix Team Drive, as I'm seeing it now
It's
in
the
chat.
console for playing the part of the camera for this match.
Yes, absolutely. I saw so many pog champs at so many opportune moments. Very good stuff when your cameraman's on point. Console, thank you so much. And yeah, I think with that, we'll be signing off for tonight. Thank you for sticking with us for what was a 3-hour match. You gotta love that. But
How many
thank you
hours
for
did you
joining
say?
us. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be catching you next week with Freotech versus Ascent in the upper brackets, and Velocity versus
SVIFT.
Swift. Wow. Whew.
Just watch that
Lost
match,
memory
bro.
really quickly there once they lost, they're not second seed, get out of my face. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and have a good night, and thanks.